Yo, what the fuck is going on?
New Always Talking Shit Show.
Fuck. Yo. Uh. We back.
And just like that, we are back.
I forget. Go to YouTube now. Always Talking Shit Show. Almost all episodes are up there. We're still working getting everything up there. But for everybody who don't watch here, who wants to watch us on YouTube, you can go catch up on everything there.
That's a fact. That's a fact. My guy, man. My guy. This is one of them times, dog, that, we're challenged, bro. This is it's one of those times when I'm here with you, bro, as much as I can be. You know what I mean?
So I know y'all see the title. Probably wondering what's up. So last Monday when we came back from Thanksgiving from Reno, we took my dad to the hospital. My dad's been in and out of the hospital so twice for extended like at least a week's time in the last month. Well, this time we found out that he has stage 4 lung cancer spread to both of his lungs, and he has likely 3 to 6 months to live. So that's what the fuck I am at in life right now. And from the way that it's playing out, it's probably gonna be quicker than that. I feel like we're like 2.5 months into his 3 months already.
You know,
If you make it to Christmas, I'll be surprised.
you know, it, fuck, man. It's these moments, bro, that like just remind you of how fragile and delicate like time is. All the cliche shit that people say, you know what I mean? Like you get older and start realizing that shit's not so cliche. Um,
The one thing I can never get with is the wanting a miracle thing. They don't exist.
well,
In my life, bro, I've never
I could see what you're saying.
never experienced like a miracle
Mm,
from losing my son to now losing my father. And it's like,
yeah. Cause like thought is provoked by experience, right?
yeah.
So no one can argue that. Um, hey man, it's just I know with I know with my pops, man. I just all I can say
Hold
is
on, talk directly in that mic, like louder.
oh my bad. All I can say, can you hear me?
Talk again.
Yo 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 yo.
There we go. For some reason, it wasn't picking you up.
But no, I'm just saying that just from that experience that I had, we spoke about it. I would. It's just about doing spending the time. Like you said, the plan of just getting them around as much family and things like that. Grandchildren, such and such like that. And then the best medical treatment one can afford and provide. And that's a whole nother nightmare and a tragedy in its own. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry to bring this shit up. It's just like that's another one where it's like, what are we doing as humans, bro, in our country?
What are we doing in America?
That's what I'm saying. In our country,
yeah, it ain't humans, nigga. It's America.
That's what I said. What are we doing as humans in our country? Like, the idea of humanity is different here. You know what I mean?
The humanity, the way humanity is for you is based off what your money.
How much you can afford, and it's like, it's a scary thing, and yet sometimes we still do things that can like detriment our health. So I think that, like, what do you do? We talk about this thing. See, that's when I came in here and said I'm not impressed by billionaires that play like astronauts.
Right.
Hey, bro, you want to impress me with your hundreds of billions of dollars? Put some real money behind curing cancer.
Or make them show us the cure for cancer that
already exists. Right, like, do that. Like, legalize that. Fight for that. Like, put your money. Hey, how about you buy Congress for 4 years and ratify that? You know what I mean? And get all these cancers causing things out of our environment, because humans are emotional creatures. Remember what I was saying, bro? I'm like, dog, the fucked up thing about it is, like, from my grandfather to my father, some of these men, these health conditions they have, you can make an argument it's a direct correlation to the sacrifices they made for this country. You put me in a motherfucking foreign environment and ask me to survive in hostile confines, bro, I might drink a little bit. I'll lose friends in vicious ways and have to come back to society where people are mad because somebody got into a fender bender or they didn't get the job they wanted, right? Gangs and shit. Like, I'm getting robbed by a little teenager and shit. Like, just, I got a racist cop pulling me over, jacking me up. All these different things. You damn right, nigga, I might drink a little bit. I might smoke, man. I got stress. And not only do I have these things, I have the unique ability to commit serious harm. So let me take these shots, man, and go home. You feel me? It sounds funny, but then when I look at my pops, I realize that now. Hey, pops, man, the doctor said you need to lay off the liquor a little bit, man. Like, he don't understand. Now I get those comments more. I thought it was just some old player, like, black dude shit. Like, nigga, nah, nigga, I'm gonna drink my yak, nigga. And, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I was taking it all these years, bro.
Tell me shit.
But now I'm starting, I realize now, like, yeah, that's how it was. You know what it is. And now I realize it's like, nah, I can't go to sleep without this. See, the thing is, I got some issues up here from surviving that. You feel me? That none of you will ever understand. You little spoiled motherfuckers. Who are you to walk around, nigga, in designer and fly shit? Nigga, you ain't killed nobody. You ain't been shot at. You ain't lived in the mud. You ain't come home and be considered a villain. And because you was black, you didn't get limited resources. See, now these black kids join the military and they get everything the white soldiers get.
Yep.
They get to use the full benefits and all that. Our grandfathers didn't. And some of our fathers didn't.
All right.
I got into an argument with a friend, because he's a veteran. And I'll always surrender to an actual veteran,
right,
when speaking about the military.
Right.
But I'll never surrender to the point where I won't have an opinion. I don't have to serve in the military as an American citizen whose taxes fund the military because I'm not in the military. That's not how this works. Because non-military men and women send military men and women on orders every day. What are we talking about? That's how this thing works. So when I had that opinion of the mistreatment of veterans because of a program I was working with at the time of what mistreated veterans, people that, you got veterans out here in these streets that don't have access to certain things, not because it's not available for them now, but because at the time when it was created, it wasn't available for them, So they never knew it changed. And we don't like to just admit that and make that be known public record. Like, oh yeah, to all these a lot of black veterans, all these things are available to you too now. No one can deny them. That's why, like, I remember, like, it was President Obama that had, like, given out posthumous, like damn near 100 posthumous Purple Hearts and awards and shit. You know, it's still like it's a mistreatment or misuse of funds, of resources. That is, because it's sad, dog. Like, this don't have to be this way. You know. And that's all I be thinking. Like, when I be thinking about Pops, I'll just be like, damn, bro. You know, it don't, you don't deserve that. And it seemed like those are the ones that happened to. You know what I'm saying?
Like Trump and Biden and
dog, what's that nigga?
John
Lindsey
McCain
Graham and them niggas and shit. Like, hey, you know what's crazy?
All of them will have the best health care till the day they die.
It's crazy,
they will
dog.
go through triple, quadruple, quintuple bypass surgeries, well beyond they would let anybody else have surgeries.
Dick Cheney.
Come on,
all
bro.
the heart surgeries he's had and transplants and shit. Hey, peep this though. In the audacity of hope, man, Barack Obama writes about the fact that his mother had a form of cancer. She had health care, paid her bills, did all the things that she's supposed to do. And in her retirement, they basically found loopholes to not cover her. When he got elected into Congress, to the U.S. Senate, he heard men in the Senate hall bragging about having the surgery and defeating it. Like, it was just nothing, because it didn't have to be that way. But there's a certain level of medicine that all of us are not privy to. You know what I mean? There's a certain level of, like, health care that we all don't have access to, no matter how much you pay your bills, no matter what company or plan you have. The U.S. government has allowed for these corporations to have loopholes and to mislead and to write off too many of us. You know, that's why when you start hearing people say, hey, I'm going to buy 100,000 acres and build homes for people and put farmland in it so they can grow their own food. Hey, man, okay. Rest in peace, Nipsey.
Right.
Hey, okay, Kanye. That's why he was saying what he was saying on that interview. When he was like, you think I didn't come up here to get killed? That's what he meant by that. Like, I'm saying some shit that can get me knocked off, because they know I got the money and resources to do it. Like, and that's what they don't want, is us eating a natural, healthy diet. You know what I'm saying? It's just on so many levels, bro. They letting kids buy packs of cigarettes at 18.
It's 21 now.
Is it? That's better.
Tobacco products.
That's better. I didn't realize that. That's good. Good.
I did that shit like 2 years ago.
Shout out to them. Because, you know, it was a time where I thought that was whack because I was young. But I get it, though. You know what I'm saying? Fam, I get it.
So my dad's been smoking like my whole life. I think he has been smoking my whole life. He's never quit smoking before.
It's hard, bro. They get into the, like, psychology of society that will make you want. That's why they're so anti-weed. I personally believe if you look at the crime in cities that have legalized weed, crime is down. They won't ever say that, though. They won't ever equate that.
I don't know. Reno been getting kind of funky lately.
But that's because Reno, what you got to understand, but up north, up in Reno, people got to understand how lucky you are if you grew up there 10, 15, 20 years ago. Nobody else in America in an urban setting was living in such a safe environment.
Right.
All the havoc was caused up there, we caused it. You feel me? So, like, and I'm not talking about us individually. I'm just saying, like, you know what it is. Whereas you know the difference. Like whereas other places, crime and poverty is so steeped into everything involved and around it that it could be you find pockets of happiness and joy, but everybody's trying to make it out.
Right, that's true.
I know a lot of motherfuckers up north in the north, and I know that looked at me like I was crazy when I would critique it. But I told one of my white friends once in high school, I was like, bro, this is like South Beach to you.
Yeah.
This is your Atlanta.
Yeah.
This is like Brooklyn for you. This ain't like that for me.
For somebody
like,
from these places.
Or just in somebody, even if I wasn't. If you're, a kid of a certain ethnic group, shit. I mean, I feel this. I don't mean respectfully. I'm saying this. If you're an Oriental person, I'm sure you would want to go to Chinatown in New York,
right,
or San Francisco,
right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or you might want to live somewhere where there's a motherfucking Chinatown, and there's nothing wrong with that. It makes sense, but sometimes you get people that are pocketed, and then you could take race out of it. I always used to tell people, I got friends that I met in Reno that would like thrive in Brooklyn or in New York City. The artistic nature, the hustle they have, the creativity, they're kind of held back because they're in a small market, right? Whether it's like through dance and art, whatever it is, music, right? They would thrive somewhere else. They don't know it all the time. It's presented like, oh, I don't know if I can make it. Sometimes it's just too financially expensive to do it. But nigga, outside of that part, which is a real major part, that you can't exclude, but just for the sake of conversation, outside of the aspect of finances, fam, creativity wise, niggas would thrive other places because that's where the like home or the like thriving heartbeat is of what you want to do and what you're naturally good at. So whether you're an MC or a producer, you might get an internship for an MC or a producer. And even in that, it could be your first internship. But if you humble yourself, you can learn a lot, make a lot of connections, and you would naturally be able to do that job because you're an MC. What does an MC need before the studio? And depending on the level of MC, you might just be orchestrating the strings. You might not, as an intern, you might not even be running down to the store to get the roll up or to get the drink. You might be sending the weed guy to get the weed. You might be sending the drink guy to get the drink. You might be sending the girls guy to get the girls, and sending the studio guy to book the studio. All for the manager. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a chain of, it is what it is. But I want to say, man, we with you. ATS Nation. We're going to have to put prayers and thoughts and positive vibes and energy around our brother and his family. Bro, I'm here with you, dog. It's just words can only go so far. And we talk our shit here, man, but we don't blow smoke. You know what I'm saying? This episode is dedicated to Pops. It's dedicated to all the people fighting. Something that I think that's been used as cliche, but often like ignored. What if they made these type of issues a national emergency, right? And put like 1/4 of the amount of resources financially they do for military development as they do for those things. I mean, what if we did? What if you told every billion?
Got the vaccine for COVID in less than 2 years.
Exactly. What if?
Come on, fam.
Come on, something that you didn't even know about. You had to learn about this shit first. And you had to learn about it first.
You had to create.
This shit got variants and shit, nigga.
You had to create the COVID vaccine while learning about the COVID vaccine. Learning about COVID. But you're able to do that. You're able to inoculate the world.
Right.
But we can't cure cancer. All right. We know the cure for AIDS. Magic Johnson will show that to all of us.
Well, they have. Dr. Sebi said it was cure for cancer too.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We see the non-natural cure for AIDS.
Nigga, they just. What's the other actor now that came? The famous dude, something Junior. Mm-hmm. They used to have that show, nigga. Damn, I can't think of his name, but it'll come to me. But yeah, came out with HIV and all that stuff, but he's still rocking around. Hey, God bless everybody that's survivors.
I'm not
but
saying that they shouldn't be here, but I'm just saying,
fam, I'm not putting that on you.
money definitely.
I'm not putting that on you. I'm just, you're right, because
Definitely let you fly to different countries and
now what
and
about
try
this?
all different type
What
of
about
medicines and healings.
What if, to be a billionaire developer in this country, that you're going to benefit to the tone of hundreds of millions of dollars? For every 10 homes you build, there has to be at least one community garden patch that those 10 homes can man if they want to, right? They don't have to. It's not like communism where they have to do it. But if you get a family that moves in that's like, yo, we got young kids, I like to grow a couple of vegetables and fruit right here. They have the space to do it. They can go, but forget the resources. They can go do everything they need to do and man it and everything like that. But let's encouraging that more. They know that. They know when you, dog, I'm looking at, now that I'm watching McCoy grow up and shit, and like, you start thinking about the stuff you put in one's body because you got kids around. You're like that. I'm not saying it's like only because you have children, but I'm sure that helps because you're consciously making sure you're developing kids healthy. So you'll look at it, that's a constant reminder. When I played ball, that would help because it was serving a different purpose. But in your natural life, we have to develop our natural, routine, right? Dog, the way shit's set up, I was just talking to a friend of mine who's a teacher in Oakland. And I said, dog, if I had $10 million in the bank, I would sue America for racism. And he was like, you would win too. And he's one of the most intelligent people I know. You know why he said I would win? He's like, man, you would win too. And he said, you know why you would win? I said, why? He said, because you talked about it on your show. Nigga, the United Nations has spoken and said that black people live in racial terrorism in America. Based on the way that they would say that the Iraqis were in trouble and people in South America were in apartheid, they said the same thing about us here in America. But nobody wants to talk about that, and no news outlet and major outlet can't talk about that really because what happens? That all contributes to the suscepticism of having issues health-wise. Y'all look at my grandparents who worked their ass off, bro. And they all kind of, for lack of better terms, like broke down. You know, I worry about my Dukes all the time and like pray for her health and strength. And luckily, she's a very healthy woman, but that's just something that you pray for. Like, when I think about Pops, I'm just like, damn, man, like, it's no different than your Pops. It's like, this don't have to be the situation. And that's what's scary and like unfortunate about it. But what I will say is, he's here now, and you just got to put love around him. You know what I'm saying? It's all about making him comfortable and letting him find joy and peace in what he's up against and stuff like that. Because there is some light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, is to hold on to that little piece of light, even if it's just for his sake. Man, these last 2 years, boy, right? These last 2 years have really been like crazy on humanity, I feel like, man. Like, I don't know if I'm just getting older, fam, but it's just things you can't do no more, fam. Like, you can't take loved ones and family members for granted, which you never should have, right? You can't just take for granted, I'm dropping a kid off at school. And I know you know that more than I do. I know you think about that every time you come home and turn on the TV or something, or you doing your thing. And damn, it was another school shooting. They said there's been over 30-something school shootings this year. Bro, what if the aliens is fucking with us?
I don't think they even deal with us anymore. I think they probably think we're so.
Honestly, you know what I think they is?
They don't think
they know, but they ain't ready yet. I think what they do is they really monitor us, nigga, to make sure we don't mess up the galaxy. It sounds crazy, bro, but when you look at all the spottings and the like military people that talk about it, they definitely be like, there's proof that they've like defused military like warheads and shit like that on the American side and on like the Russian side and Chinese side and shit like that, or North Korean side or whatever. That's in that. Well, if you believe what's in the declassified files documentary on Netflix, you know what I mean. If you believe them, but I kind of do. You got motherfuckers from all over the world telling you the same story about objects and have different variations of video of these objects flying in ways that don't even make sense to the American, to like the human eye.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And if they can do that, what else can they do? Them niggas probably come through and be like, man, let's just play a game on these niggas. Because they probably look at it like how we treat animals and shit. They probably out here fucking with us. I'm gonna make this nigga come shoot the whole shit up. I know it sounds crazy, dog. I'm just throwing some shit at the wall. I'm just saying, like, it's gotten to the point where you can't. I love watching the news, bro. I grew up watching. I'm a news junkie. I can't watch that shit no more. Doctor's orders. I'm not even making this shit up. My doctor was like, stop watching. That you can't watch that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't follow certain these things so close. Like, it's starting to show effects on your body. And I know that because every other vital is very healthy. But you have these signs of stress. That's why she diagnosed me the way she did. And I'm just like, damn, that's crazy. If I'm this, why am I, so how can I be both? And that's what she explained that to me. Like, this is self-induced. And you don't know it. It comes from some microaggressions of society. You being an African-American male, adult male. It also comes from you being a single male. You know what I'm saying? Like, it comes from a lot of things. Like, you might not be where you want to be economically. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might worry about a loved one. A government should be there to massage the issues, to work as in servitude to those that are the masses. We have all this abundance of wealth that you pay in taxes, and we use it in technologies and resources for the betterment of life for all of you in an equal and fair manner. Now, if you're more talented and you're more supreme in skill and work ethic, there's also a space for you to thrive. But that doesn't when you turn around and those that are in that thriving space decide that they're better, they're more important, they're elite. We're going to save this technology for ourselves. There's all kind of medicines and shit like that. Like when Dr. Sebi first came out, a lot of like Magic Johnson, he said he worked with Michael Jackson when he was basically near death, brought him back to health. Oprah Winfrey, he said he's worked with all these people and their family members to cure AIDS, cancer, and herpes and things and all these other things that wasn't considered curable. There's documentation of him talking about that. A whole like hour interview with him saying those things. And so to me it's just like, when are we going to get to a point where we demand those resources? You know what I mean? Because outside of that, the only way to obtain them is the extreme wealth, fame. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the only way we've seen it. And that only goes so far. That only goes so far. Yeah, I got some thoughts on that shit, bro. I just, some things are just better left unsaid in terms of sensitivity and timing. You feel me? I don't want to OD. I got something that we can get back. We gonna jump back and forth because this is what this episode is dedicated to. We're gonna get back and forth, in and out, on the matter. Shout out to everybody that's fighting the fight. We with you. But I got a question. I was listening to something. I'm not gonna front. Um, I heard a theory tossed around. It was about the movie Black Panther. I'm not gonna lie. When I heard the news, it kind of shook me because we proud of Black Panther. That's our shit. Wakanda forever. Is Black Panther a live remake of The Lion King? Think about it.
No, I couldn't. I can't put the two and two together.
Fam.
Because if Lion King was about
A young prince
uh
that left his kingdom, right? Had to find his way home.
left his kingdom after his father was killed.
Had to find his way home.
But hold on. Killmonger had already been gone from Wakanda. Killmonger wasn't born in Wakanda. Killmonger was born in Oakland.
His father.
His father would be more. No, because that means.
I mean, I'm talking loosely. It's not
It's
going to be
very
the. It's going. No, it's not going to be
Very
the. It's not as loose as you think, but it's not
But
going
it's
to be
very
the.
loose because because here's the thing.
Okay.
No two kids fought in that movie over what their dads had done.
Who? What do you mean?
In Lion King.
Killmonger is Scar.
In fucking.
That's the way it was explained.
T'Challa's Mufasa.
That's the way it was explained.
Because
Hold on,
Scar
that's the way.
killed Mufasa.
Hold on, that's the way it was explained. That's the way it was explained.
I get it. But
It's
Scar
like if,
killed Mufasa.
yeah, but it's not gonna have to line up right, like line all the way up. But when you think about the stories, there's a lot of similarities. And I thought it was funny at first, but then I was like, damn, when he was explaining it, he was just like, yeah, man, he kind of had a little bit more of a soliloquy than me. You know what I mean? But he was just like, yeah, like this, and I was like, damn, well, I could see where he's coming from. He's not completely like harebrained for saying it, but that's what he said he triggered, and he wasn't the only person in the room that thought that. They was like, yeah, I'm damn proud for it, but I did think that's like, damn, man, it's like kind of like the Lion King. And I'm like, why did people think that? Is it because it's an African? Is that the correlation?
Mm-hmm.
I just thought about it. I was like, I want to pose that question. I want to see what Dre thinks.
I just I couldn't even loosely put
When
it
I watched
together.
I watched the movie hella times back to back. I never thought about the Lion King.
Yeah, I could never even loosely put the two together.
But it was funny when I heard him say it. Like, oh damn, what if this shit? Like, and I started looking at it like, okay, well, all right, well, and then I thought like you did. Well, no, because it would make sense more if Scar had a son or something like, you know what I mean, and Scar died, you know what I mean, and Mufasa died.
We do not know the story about Mufasa and Scar's father to even loosely base that on anything.
Not at all. I'm trying to think of who did they say the sister was? I'm trying to think.
Who was the baboon?
I think they were saying the sister. I think it was the sister who was saying it was the baboon. And then I forgot who did he say was Timon and Pumbaa?
Oh no, nigga, that's reaching though. Even
I mean,
loosely.
yeah, it was. I mean, but when he was explaining it, I don't know if it was just the humor aspect of it, but the shit was funny, and I was like, oh damn, that'd be fucked up if they really did just kind of like, yeah, we already got like a backdrop of how we gonna do this shit, you know what I mean? But I don't know, we'll see. I'm disappointed that they're not gonna recast T'Challa. He's too important of a character.
I think it's one of the things they shouldn't touch.
I think that
Because I think the Joaquin Phoenix Joker is the last Joker we're ever gonna see for Batman.
okay, that's cool, but he's not the only Joker we've ever seen.
That's true.
This is the only Black Panther we've ever seen in live action. I think they should just give another young actor that's dope, which there's millions of them, an opportunity, nigga, that's young, athletic, nigga, healthy, and plans on being, and hopefully is going to be here for a little while to finish the films out because. So now there's just no Black Panther, unless they have the ability. No, unless they have the ability to just keep making T'Challa, nigga, without because all that technology.
That's what they did with Paul Walker.
That's what I'm saying. No, I'm just talking about without him being like the actor, where he's just whenever it's time for the Black Panther to be the Black Panther.
No, that's what I mean. That's what they did with Paul Walker when he died. The way they finished that movie.
I get what you're saying about that.
Was they imposed his face?
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like they don't show old boys for Chadwick Boseman's face. If they didn't show his face, but when it was fight scenes, and it was time for him to, that's unless they was trying to do it like that.
Shit, because
like
then you couldn't write him into the full story.
Right. So that's why I'm like,
what do you be like? How's this thing? So keep to me, about the fights and shit, and he just pops up.
To me, I'm just like, I be skeptical, fam. But I'm like, okay, they seen how we gave it up for that, and now they just jabbing us, nigga. Like y'all ain't getting another one. That's stupid. To me, it makes no business sense. When you see how little black boys was crying and giving salutes with their toys and shit, nigga, for T'Challa, like, why would you not recast that character so they're a whole nother generation of kids like they planned on can grow up with an identifiable character, like.
Or maybe they're going to. Maybe they're just making it so now the little black girls have theirs. Maybe the next movie will have both.
But that's where it's not fair, is because if you think about it and just follow the story, there is one for women. There's all kind of powerful black women all throughout this storyline, including Storm, who marries T'Challa and becomes the queen of Wakanda from the X-Men. So, and they're recasting a Storm, and she's about to get her own movie finally. So it makes sense that that's lined up to do so. So my thing is, unless you're going to make Killmonger some kind of way to Black Panther, because he's next in line. They said he's going to be in the movie again.
But he's dead.
They said he's going to be in the movie again. And so the only thing, all that's a quick rewrite is that, like, nigga, they'll just re-show nigga the Black Panther not killing him or saving him with that purple stuff. And then putting them, locking them away somewhere in, like, a nice cage, nigga. Like, not like I know that sounds funny because you know how you didn't want to be in a cage, but somewhere, nigga, overlooking the ocean or something, nigga, some little, like, little like place where he cool, some little covey cove type shit. That's just my brain. You know what I mean? If they did it like that, he could be right back in the script, and now he rightfully takes the place as Black Panther. Which I think, nigga, he'd been a cooler Black Panther anyways, because he's from America, nigga, and that shit's hard. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. What do we know? But to me, it would make no economic sense at all. Take creativity out of it. Just economically would make no sense to kill the character T'Challa, who's arguably one of the most popular characters now. And I get Chadwick Boseman is a godsend, and we should honor him. But who was the first Superman? Think about it.
Christopher Reeves.
And I don't even think he was the very first one. He was the one that was more popular, the first popular one that did movies and to the point where they could make it look like he was flying for real and shit, like. And now, nigga, like, who's Superman now? This nigga wasn't even born in America. So that's why I think they should have went ahead and did it. Like, they should definitely, like, recast the character.
How you feel about,
No, we good. No, do it.
How you feel about Teofimo losing this last weekend?
I think Teofimo, well, now that it's come out that is, well, let me say this. Let me calm down. Shout out to Brooklyn.
Talked all that shit
about
fighting hate.
Let me get my shit off. Shout out to Brooklyn. It's love for Teofimo. I root for him because he's a Brooklyn kid, and he can pop. He can fight. But it's a perfect example of, they used to tell me, they say, act like you've done it before. You ever heard that term? From the old heads? Yeah, youngsters, act like you've done it before. Act like you've been here before.
Yep.
Act like you've done it before,
they say
man.
That to basketball teams that have been to a championship.
They
act
but
like you've been here before.
But at the same time, they tell individual players when you make a move and cross somebody. You know why Barry Sanders was the truth? He'll make the most greatest highlight, nigga, and walk over and hand the fucking quarter, the ref the football. Like, nigga, I expect for this to happen, fam. And you should expect for it to happen too, because it's gonna keep happening. I'm not excited
He
about
didn't
this.
celebrate. Yeah, he just
Like, you know, nigga, here.
I'll be back.
You know, every once in a while he'll give you a little, you know, but like, nah, I don't need to do that. Some people are just naturally more entertaining. They don't need to do it. Dion didn't need to do it, but he did it. There's no knock against it. It's the same thing, fam. In that situation, like just T.O. First off, he needs to fire his father. Because when you watch the fight, his dad is giving him the worst advice ever. And when you're in there with inferior competition, that works because it's gotten you all the way to this point.
What happens when you step in with?
But when you step in with when they went to Cambosis or whatever, Cambosis trained with Manny Pacquiao. I'll say that again. Cambosis for years was Manny Pacquiao's number one sparring partner. Got it the hard way out the mud. This was an opportunity.
He's probably the nigga that they don't talk about that knocked out Manny Pacquiao in sparring.
Hey, who knows? I wouldn't be surprised. He's been knocked out a few times.
No, but it's probably all by that.
No, I'm talking about we've seen him knocked out in fights.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I don't know. You know what? They say once you go, nigga, you more susceptible to it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
It seemed to be true.
Yeah, I don't know.
Marquez slept that nigga.
I don't know.
You
Like
guys
so.
susceptible to getting fucked up.
So what I'm saying is that like you get Cambosis came in there hungry, a hungry lion.
Even though he was
ready.
Undisputed champion.
But no, he knows that he wasn't shit in America.
Yep.
That's why he ain't left America yet. He didn't want to everybody fight. He doing every interview. This is his moment. This is that moment in Jerry Maguire when he took him on the run that he had never got to go on, and you finally got to meet everybody and shake hands and do the interviews and get introduced to all the TV people. This was his moment for that.
Yep.
And he did it, nigga. Like, okay, because my money, what he said, what John them say, yesterday's price is not today's price.
Yep.
He knows his next fight is going to set him up financially for the rest of his life. Something he's been chasing his whole career, even with a world title. Now, he's not starving, but he's not multi-millionaire rich either.
He's not Gervonta in them.
He's not Gervonta in them yet.
Yeah.
He's not Devin Haney yet.
Yeah.
And so Devin Haney's making $7
Spence.
to $7 million a fight.
Crawford.
Yeah, nigga, he ain't in that ballpark yet where they millionaires. Nigga. Even Crawford is underpaid and trying to get his money up, but he's still a millionaire.
He's trying to get from under what's
He got under him now. He's under him now,
Okay.
and that's why he's going out and doing what he's doing. But when you look at all that, if you had a decent team around you, Teofimo, they would have had you ready for this fight. Yeah. Teofimo was talking about, I'm gonna just walk through him and knock him out. He was over cocky, talking all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Didn't, obviously do his homework on this kid the way he should have. And more, he didn't have a plan B, like all great fighters should. He didn't have it. He couldn't adjust.
Teofimo sounded like Broner after the pack.
Yeah, he still made a fight. I beat that boy. He still made the fight interesting and good. Like, it ain't like he just got his ass demolished.
Yeah, but
he just lost on decision.
I'm just sick of that.
He lost on I'm saying he lost on decision because in the first half of the fight he wasn't on his shit. But then he's a warrior, so he just bit down nigga and 8 shots nigga and returned them and made the fight interesting.
Because they both got knocked down, right?
Right. He got knocked down in the first round, nigga, which makes the first impression, especially when you're supposed to be the bigger, stronger fighter, nigga, with the more power.
But I thought he went up. Didn't he go up? I thought he's always been fighting lower. No, this is his weight class. The thing is, he just ain't been fighting the right people. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, he's been fighting good fighters. He ain't been fighting the best. I mean, Lomachenko is a great fighter.
Nigga, Lomachenko has only had fucking 13 fights. You
Yes,
tell me one fucking pro fighter in American history that got
him,
that's that racist boxing bullshit.
I see him fight, I'm like, how the fuck is he where he's at right now?
And he got 3 losses on his record. And ESPN be up there lying, talking about he's undefeated and all that other type of shit. And he got his ass exposed because he thought that Teofimo was getting ducked by some people too. And so he's like, okay, well, this is another guy that's good, that got belts, that I can fight, that's not Devin Haney, that's not Gervonta, that's not Shakur, you know what I'm saying, and people like that can get up here in this weight class with me and do. I can't outbox them. I'm not faster and more slick than them. The shit that I'm doing work on flat-footed fighters. But Tiafimo nigga is a Brooklyn kid that like got a little swag to him. He's not just a thugger. He went in there and outboxed Lomachenko, and that's a fact. Like he just outboxed him. And Lomachenko made it interesting towards the end, but Lomachenko also showed that he can't deal with power and he can't deal with a counter puncher. Oh. So nigga, what you gonna do with Earl? Earl Spence is gonna knock him out. Terrence Crawford's knocking him out. Right. So it's like, how special is he? They was comparing him to Muhammad Ali before that fight.
That Crawford, what you call it?
He don't even got 20 fights, bro.
Crawford Porter fight.
That's the fight.
That's a great fight.
That's the fight. That's the fight, bro. That is the fight of the century.
Before that stoppage, Porter was getting with that nigga.
A lot of people had Porter winning.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, that was a bullshit stoppage. That's why Spence did that. Like, oh man, nigga, like his dad. But that's another thing. Father managers. It was a bad weekend for dad managers. Now on the health side, nobody can argue with you stopping that. That's your boy. He's at the end of his career. He said that he's going to retire soon. I get it. He got the bag already.
And he retired after
the bag. But that was out of spite of his father.
Yep.
He was supposed to retire in the next couple of years. His dad didn't know he was retiring. He spoke to the media and was like, "Yeah, I'm retiring." He was pissed off. Cause nigga, when you go back and watch that shit again in live action,
ready to be done.
He was nowhere near unconscious.
He hit the ground pissed. The nigga wasn't knocked out.
He was nowhere near unconscious, bro.
Not at all. The nigga was there.
I'm like, and he
could have had a clear conversation.
And he's a thugger type fighter. Right. Like he likes to make it ugly. So if he gets knocked down a couple times, that's fine. Cause he coming back, and Crawford was showing signs of vulnerability. That's why I'm like, nigga. When Earl Spence
exposed a lot about
bro,
Crawford
when Earl Spence started getting to work on them ribs, nigga, and that body, boy. All that switch hitting and cute shit, nigga, you ain't gonna be doing that, nigga,
Porter was giving it to that nigga
and
for
Spence
that whole
can fight off his back foot.
Yeah,
Spence can get slick like Floyd and do all that type of shit if he wants to. He don't do it. Like that's not what he know. Dog, I'm telling you, bro. They nigga gonna see this Earl Spence like he always do, nigga. He always just rises a notch above whoever he's fighting, nigga. Like I'm gonna separate myself now, nigga. I'm a little better than you. I got you figured out, and he knocks niggas out too. They gonna stop. And then he said that he didn't want to knock out Garcia because he was tired of motherfucking the racist media saying that he's just a thugger and just a puncher, nigga, and couldn't fight. And he was like, nigga, I'm an Olympian. What are you talking about? Yeah. I was the number one in my rank, like nigga, my whole life. What are you talking? I'm the best boxer, nigga, amateur. What are you talking about? All the amateur championships. Like, what do you mean? I'm the most skilled boxer out here. Fuck you talking about? Nigga, I'm baby Floyd out this bitch. Nigga, I'm the one that beat Floyd allegedly in sparring. Mm-hmm. Gave him a black eye. Right? What are you talking about? That shit is legendary in the boxing world. Fuck you mean?
Yes, there's only him and one other fighter so they physically hurt Floyd like that, and that's Cotto when he broke his nose.
Bro, I would say even I would give Shane his props.
Yeah, Shane.
Because Shane knocked Floyd out.
Oh yeah, he did.
That's why Floyd is cold. Because I'd be like, bro, you talking about a nigga that got knocked out and didn't lose.
That nigga.
And didn't hit the ground.
With that one, that nigga.
Go watch that shit. I'm glad you said that. Boy, that boy Floyd.
Grabbed him with
like a bowling constrictor, nigga. Like, it was so quick.
Nigga grabbed him
Floyd,
like it was his mama falling off a cliff, nigga.
Dog.
That nigga.
It was like a snake bite, fam. And he couldn't get in it. Floyd's smaller than him. He couldn't get Floyd off of him, dog.
Because that nigga Floyd was not
could not get Floyd off of him. Bruh, ref couldn't get Floyd out. Like, nope, nigga. Like, nigga, and Floyd knew. And he took it like a G. Like, nigga, okay, you got me, nigga. Like, I know how to.
And that wasn't one. He got him twice.
No, this is the thing.
Next round,
this is the thing. He was like, nigga, I know how to not go down, nigga. Yeah. I'm a warrior. And that's the thing, bro. Like, to be able to give punishment is one thing, fam. But, like, to take it. And that's why I like how he stood up for Devontae after the fight, because he was like, y'all not going to play him like y'all played me my whole career. If a motherfucker win 2 rounds against me, nigga, y'all telling me I should make him a multimillionaire by giving them another.
Oh, we got somebody to give our attention to. You said Tank can't beat Garcia?
Garcia. Hey, bro. My nigga, Ness be trolling.
Stop,
nigga. Ness trolling.
Ness, you a troll for that.
Ness trolling, bro.
Ness, you was.
I know he's not talking about Ryan Garcia.
Oh, nah, because he already stopped him, didn't he?
No. I'm gonna tell you what did happen though, and that's why I'm glad he brought that up. Ness, shout out to my boy. I'm glad he brung that up.
Devin Haney's the least exciting black boxer.
You see, Mom's highlights at you too.
I appreciate you.
Word, Mom's love. Floyd exposed it. When they brung up that nigga tweeting and shit, he got mad. He was like, man, let me tell you about this internet warrior. He said, man, we had to fight. Tank wanted to fight, nigga. We set the fight up. He's a Leonard Ellaby is right here. He'll tell you he's the one that deal with all the contracts. That nigga said I contacted them. De La Hoya tweeted, man, Tank will fuck. Ryan will fuck Tank up, right, to rile the fans up. They were supposed to square it up, nigga. They had $50 million on the table. They reconsidered, bro. Because there's a videotape, you can look it up on the internet right now on YouTube, exposing De La Hoya because they show his tweet, and then they show a video after one of Tank's fights where he knocked the nigga out, and that Santa Cruz dude, and he's walking back, nigga, and he's fixing his jacket, and they was like, hey, yo, you think Ryan's ready for Tank next? And De La Hoya looks at the camera and laughs and was like, no. Nigga, hell no, I'm not putting him in the ring. Video. I'm not putting him in the ring with Tank. Nigga, Tank will kill him.
And people keep trying to say that Esau fight that Tank didn't really win that.
He did. They got a broken hand. How you get exposed with beating somebody that's supposed to be a knockout artist and a beast? He's calling himself the Mexican Mike Tyson, and he didn't knock you out when you had a broken hand from the 6th round on.
Oh, he broke his hand?
Yeah, nigga, go look. That's facts, nigga. Hand broken, 6th round on. And if you watch the fight, he was telling him in the corner, like, yo, my hand. And his trainer's a beast, nigga. Like, I don't want to fight. I don't give a fuck about your hand, boy.
Better talk to me after the fight.
I don't care about that. Nigga, bite down. And he went out there and got it. And he could. Dog, it was times where he had Aesop kind of rocky.
And couldn't.
And, dog, just go watch the fight from like the 6th, 7th round on. He's hitting him with all rights. Tank's left-handed, bro. He just jabbing at him with the right and standing away from him. Like, and that's why that's what Floyd was saying. He was like, you gonna stop disrespecting us young black fighters. He was like, you get somebody. That's what he said. This is the science of boxing. These are the rules of boxing. This is the sport. That's cool that you like a brawler, but at the end of the day, you're not gonna watch a cat like a Devin Haney or
Tank.
Errol Spence or Tank lose 2 rounds like Floyd used to. And be like, oh, it's a rematch. Oh, no, because what they be failing to realize is these black dudes is cash cows now. Mm-hmm. So what happens is Floyd, like he said, he paid Pacquiao more money than he ever made in his life combined.
Oh, yeah.
And now I'm supposed to give you that again when you ain't even man enough to admit that you lost to me.
Yeah,
you come and lie about a shoulder injury that didn't exist. And then when you were supposed to have surgery and the fans exposed that you never had surgery, his excuse was, he went swimming in the ocean and Jesus and the salt water from the ocean healed his surgery. So his rotator cuff the boy Chrome had, where his shit was all cut up and had to do surgery and was fucked up like this, our boy Chrome, yeah, nigga, Pacquiao, nigga, Jesus loved him more. Because he just went swimming in the ocean, nigga, and his shit was fixed. Come on, fam. And that's what he was exposing. That's what he was exposing. He was exposing the fact that Canelo is a known cheat. And have been getting caught with drugs, nigga. And not only is that, he's one of 4 fighters in his camp that has been caught with steroids. Mm-hmm. But y'all running around here talking about Canelo like Canelo's lost to a damn near 40-year-old man before in his prime. Mm-hmm. Like he said, when I was 21 years old, I beat a Hall of Famer to get my first belt. And I was in my prime then. I was knocking shit down as Pretty Boy Floyd. Don't tell me that a nigga that's 24 years old with nearly 20 professional fights, nigga, with 18 knockouts and 2 world titles wasn't in his fucking prime.
Right.
Like, it's just a bias in the way the media, that's why he was going in on the media, he was talking shit to them because that's the way y'all cover it. And Tank gets a backlash from being Floyd's fighter. Let's just call it what it is.
All day.
Why would they not like Tank? Tank knocks shit out. He does everything that you said that you didn't like about Pretty Boy Floyd. Or not Pretty Boy Floyd, but Money Mayweather. Yeah. Like, he got 2 fights that he didn't knock his opponent out, but now he didn't knock this nigga out, and it's supposedly a fucking rematch. Like, get this shit out of here, man. I knew they was gonna do that to that kid too.
All right, hey Ness, I'm done with you for tonight on this boxing shit. I can't deal with you,
Ness
boy.
is trolling, man.
Can't deal with this nigga.
Ness is trolling.
This nigga said Floyd, and Floyd got knockouts, nigga.
I think, was it like
18?
37?
Oh, yeah, out of 50?
Yeah, but like you got to go look at his knockout ratio, especially before he broke his hands. And the difference between Floyd is Floyd went up in weight classes where everybody he was fighting was
Arthur
was damn near 2 divisions like higher than him in weight.
I ain't never heard of him. I'll look him up.
Who? Yeah,
Better be Ev.
I know what he's talking about. Artur better be, you know what I'm saying? This lightweight champ, like he's dope, like he's good.
But back Ness, to say that
You trolling
Tank
Ness?
Can't beat Garcia. If they
First
some of
off,
the
Ryan
funniest
Garcia
shit I
is
ever
never
heard.
gonna fight Tank, and they don't say he can't beat him. Just go look up the motherfucking records in the amateurs.
Right.
It ain't like they ain't never been in a ring before and fought. Go look at Garcia's amateur record against Haney and Garcia. That's the thing about U.S. boxing. It's documented. Nigga, go look it up. That's why it'd be funny when they be like, when the racism and the media and the hype and the money get involved, when you looking at an Errol Spence, Errol is saying it like, nigga, I've been the baddest motherfucker in the country.
Yeah.
So it don't matter who you put out there in front of me, nigga, I'm whooping their ass. Unless you go get somebody from overseas. And you see what he did when he went overseas? He knocked Kell Brook ass out.
The fuck out.
In Britain.
Yeah. Shakur's meet.
Dog, Ness is trolling.
I'm done with that now.
That's trolling, bro.
He's trolling like a motherfucker.
Yeah, man, you can't take that serious. That ain't serious.
This nigga says Shakur's.
Dog, fam, look.
All right, hold on, Ness. Oh, you talking shit, nigga. Who you like? Who the fuck do you like? Cause it seemed like, nigga, you looking real, uncle.
Nah, we ain't gonna do him.
Like this.
Now I know Ness. See, this is the thing. Ness.
I miss Winky looked horrible at the end of his career.
Hey, Winky was clean. I ain't gonna lie.
In his prime, but at the end.
But there's the thing about Winky, and this is why a lot of people was jealous of Floyd. Floyd had the privilege of being a second generation boxer, where two uncles and his father were world champions at one point in time. He knew the game in and out. He knew how to not let them take his body from him before he accomplished his goals. Right? And people criticize him for it, but now Canelo does it. Everybody does. Canelo Alvarez, let's pose this question.
Saul.
What if Floyd Mayweather was about to become undisputed in his division, right? Which something that only 9 fighters in the history of the sport has ever done, right? He's about to accomplish that, which he's one of them. He's about to accomplish that, though. And he decides, rather than fight Shane Mosley, and this is not factual, I'm just throwing a name out there. Rather than fight Shane Mosley, I'm going to give Sugar Shane all my belts and just move to another division. What does that indicate? Because that's exactly what he did to Demetrius Andrade, and that's exactly what he did to Charlo. And rather than fight these two individuals, and this is where people call it racism. I don't call it racism all the way, but I'm not as a astute boxing fan and with the politics and all that as some people. But this is where some of those black journalists and shit like that call it racism, is because first off, that shit don't happen often. The media don't write and excoriate them. They called Floyd a chicken and said that he ran from Pacquiao. Any boxing fucking fan knew that if you put Floyd Mayweather in the ring with somebody that's not bigger than him, it's not going to happen.
Right.
If all these big world champion Hall of Famers can't beat him, what makes us think the one dude that's going to get in there with a smaller reach, nigga, and be shorter than him is going to beat him?
Right.
He was walking Pacquiao's down by the 3rd, 4th round, pop shotting him with the right. It was nothing Pacquiao can do. He couldn't hit him. He scored one of the worst contact percentages in all of Floyd's career against him. And then people still want to argue with me that Pacquiao won the fight because Floyd just ran around. It's people hear narratives about people like, oh, Floyd don't hit hard. Go ask Canelo that shit. When all that sweat was knocking off that nigga's head and he was getting those little baby concussions, nigga, and damn near threw in the towel. Like, nigga, I can't touch him. And I don't care if I'm punching you soft. If I punch you 1,000 times and you don't get to hit me, that shit's going to get tiresome and annoying at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Speaking of Jake Paul, let's talk about this Jake Paul, Tyrone Woodley 2.
Yeah, I heard about that Emiliano kid.
What var? He's Fernando's son or Antonio?
I'm not sure. I don't remember which one. I always confuse them. But I heard about the son though. There's a young one that's supposed to be nice. But see, the thing is though, there's two types of boxing fans. There's Sweet Science fans and there's sluggers fans.
Yeah.
So a lot of Mexican boxing fans prefer sluggers.
Okay,
right?
So the way I am,
Ryan Garcia is not a slugger.
No.
He's a guy that fights more like a Floyd Mayweather or type. He's a back foot fighter, which is rare. And Canelo's like the new wave of that for Mexican fighters, where he tries to be that, but he don't have good footwork.
I like my brawlers only in heavyweight.
Yeah, I don't want to see a fucking.
I feel like heavyweights don't. A 12-round heavyweight fight is boring because around the.
I would say
middleweight
to heavy. I mean.
Well, not because I like middleweight. I like Sweet Science at middleweight. We saw.
I like both
at middleweight.
I like both.
We've seen so much Sweet Science in middleweight. I can't even.
I like some guys though that I like Sean Porter style at that division, like in that ring.
He a slugger, but he ain't the Mexican type of slugger. There's still swag to that. There's still a little bounce in his step. There's still head movement. It's still.
Well, there's some Mexican sluggers that have that. They're just not as big probably here. I've seen it.
I'm talking about who we see all the time.
Yeah, right. No, I'm just saying, like, that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. But when I say racism in boxing, I don't mean just towards blacks. Right. There's like a stereotype that comes with certain fight cultures and things like that. And they'll book fights based on these type of things, you know what I mean? And promote them that way and stuff like that. So for the first time in the history of boxing, outside of the what would you say, the Don King era, where we know Don King was exposed for all the things he's done. He's done some revolutionary things in the sport for his culture and his community, but he's also done some shady shit. Floyd and Al Heyman represent the first time a young black fighter like Errol Spence don't have to get robbed by Bob Arum for fucking 10 years before he makes significant money to take care of himself and his family. By that time, how many injuries do we have? You see how Bob Arum talks about Terrence Crawford like he's trash, bro. After this man had made hundreds of millions of dollars off this kid, and acts like he's, oh man, with the money I lost on him, I could build a house. Nigga, if you lost money on him, you're a fucking idiot, because we see him selling out the stadium every time. Yeah. You're the one that wants to do it in Nebraska instead of Las Vegas. You're the one that won't fork up the money to fight him in places where Black America can come out and celebrate him. Yeah. Black America's not going to fucking Nebraska. Nope. Celebrities ain't going out there, but if you let him fight in L.A., he'll do just what Tank Johnson did. Sell out the fucking Garden. I mean, the Staples Center. Or whatever they calling that shit now.
It's still Staples.
No, it's called the Crypto something Arena.
You're lying.
Nah.
They changed the name of Staples Arena after all these motherfucking years.
Crypto.com Arena.
It's not Staples no more.
It's like Crypto something.
How you feel about this Jake Paul fight, though?
With him and Tyrone Woodley?
I feel like this shit's been.
I thought it would have been. I wanted to see him fight the Fury kid because I wanted to see him get his ass possibly knocked out. But I wanted Tyron to get a little bit of his get back because the fight was so sloppy. Well, I thought honestly they was gonna call the shit a draw. But even though Jake Paul did win the first one, I ain't gonna lie.
There was clauses in that contract that became.
Yeah, he got his tattoo. You got the tattoo?
No.
What?
A no knockout clause. Why do you think when that nigga punched him almost through those ropes?
Oh yeah,
he didn't run down on him
to
finish the
I was
fight.
Wondering why. Like, why wouldn't you knock his ass out?
They're saying that there was a fucking
well that make out sense. That makes sense. This is all entertainment, bro.
Nigga, keep my money, nigga. I'm knocking you the fuck out, nigga. Fuck the money.
I'm not. What do you mean, fuck the money? The nigga made more money in this Jake Paul fight than stop. Stop. Then in his whole career combined. So if you can get a rematch that's gonna be bigger and more buys, and now hold me out. And now you're an even better boxer, which means now, just like Jake Paul got a fucking fight contract with Showtime, Tyrone Woodley is a 5-time division Hall of Famer UFC fighter. You don't think that he has a decent enough fan base? He got a show and that does numbers, nigga. That's always done numbers. Like, he's kind of somewhat of a B-list, C-plus list celebrity already. He lives in L.A. and moves around in L.A. Tyrone Woodley's looking at it like, nigga, I could probably get a fraction of what y'all gave Jake Paul to do a couple little celebrity fights and call out a couple Asian boxers, celebrities, rappers, and shit like that to get in the ring with. This is all business and entertainment, bro. And Floyd gave him the blueprint. This is what it is, nigga. Y'all seen what I did with Conor? I damn near did Pacquiao numbers. And we both going in the Hall of Fame the first day we eligible. You feel me? And Conor's never boxing again, really. And
Conor never has to do anything ever again.
Dog, you see how Conor's energy changed after that Floyd fight. So don't tell me. Think about how these boxers the energy be changing. So that's the thing, bro. You just got to understand it. I'm glad that Floyd did what he did. A lot of people ain't like that, but sometimes you got to pop your shit. He's not humble in the sense of showing off his things, But he's always been humble, nigga, when it comes to like talking about how the media and like boxing itself, nigga, was kind of systematically trying to get him the fuck up out of here. Like they would say shit like, "Oh, his legacy is in peril if he don't fight Manny Pacquiao." Like, why?
No, it's not.
Why? You talking about a nigga that's lost 4 times, nigga, and been knocked? Like, why would I?
Been knocked.
Do you see what
fuck
Floyd
out.
did after a 2-year layoff against Juan Marquez? Marquez, like, did you go see that fight with Floyd Mayweather did to that boy?
Niggas beating his ass.
Did you see the fight? Dog, come on. This nigga was sitting around, nigga, for 2 years, nigga, like, I might retire. I don't know if I'm fighting no more. And then came back and beat the dog shit out of a world-class fighter that gave
going to prison and all that shit.
That gave Pacquiao, I mean, like, he knocked him out. He knocked him through the ropes.
Hell over 5 fights.
Like, come on, fam. Like, so it's just crazy. You know what I mean? How people go in and out. You know what I'm saying? People, it gets crazy. I like Jake Paul and them though. I've gotten to the point where like I respect what they're doing because one thing that Joe Rogan pointed out for me about those kids, they got famous first.
Yeah, that's real.
You can't take that away from them, dog.
Okay,
they became millionaires and got famous doing what they was doing on their computer in front of their camera first. So they went and kind of build a fan base. And then turns out, nigga, like, you know, they're from Ohio and it's a boxing town and they did amateur a little bit, baby amateur, you know, like youth league boxing and was into boxing and maybe.
This whole Logan Paul Tyson fight though, Tyson about to beat the shit out.
See,
of
that's
him.
the thing that's dangerous is Tyson's not that dude. You can't put Tyson in the ring. You heard what Roy Jones Jr. said after the fight, and then he said, "Man, I felt like I was gonna die." Because of those body shots he took.
Yeah, you can't put
like,
Tyson in the
okay,
ring
now
with
get
anybody.
it. Roy Jones is not in his prime no more. He's a 50-something-year-old man.
But he's still an ex-trained boxer.
Okay,
who's
exactly.
been
With that muscle memory,
who's
right?
Been hit many times.
I get it.
Nigga.
Now you got a young body that's been training. Because don't get it wrong, there's millions of dollars in this boy Logan Paul's training. So every time you see him, he's going to be a significantly better boxer. Yeah. There's pro boxers that don't have the money behind them and the resources that he has.
Right.
They're not in the room with Mike Tyson to ask questions and train with him. Right. They don't get to go to the Mayweather gym, nigga, and spar with them and ask questions with the GOAT. Right. There's pro boxers that don't have that elite training and access. And some of them don't get it unless they sell their soul. Yeah. 100-fight deal and shit, stupid, crazy shit like that, nigga. 30-70 split, nigga, and you know what I mean, little shit like that. So you got to take all that in consideration. And when you're already a millionaire at a young age, and you decide I want to be the best fucking hacky sack player, guess what you're gonna be?
The best fucking hacky sack player.
Because you're gonna go find whoever the world best hacky sack guy is, nigga. Learn all his secrets, have him train you, pay him what he make an hour. All right. Just play the shit. I don't think niggas realize what a motherfucker worth $5 million can do in terms of hiring somebody.
A lot.
Like, nigga, how much you make? I make I'm worth $5-10 million. I'll pay you $80,000 a year to do this. Teach me how to be the best. When Lil Wayne wanted to be a skateboarder, when he wanted to learn how to skateboard, though he hired pro skateboarders to come teach him how to skate. He had the best skate park designers and shit like that come in and set him up. He went from a beginners to a mediocre with all these safety nets and harnesses until he was ready to do it. Like, it was the most safest transition to being a high, not a high level, but a decent level, probably like skater that any other kid has probably ever taken. You know, he didn't just start off at the park down the street, nigga, breaking his leg, nigga, like, damn, I guess that's not how you do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had professionals, nigga, where it was like, yeah, I'm falling in, like, nigga, a mosh pit of safetyness, like, nigga, like a net, nigga, to make sure I don't hurt myself. And like a pro skater would when they're doing new tricks. It's just resources. You know what I mean? Like our conversation earlier, it goes back to resources. So we're no on the Black Panther thing. I was with that too, bro. Leave Black Panther alone. Don't come for T'Challa and them. Shout out to Simba, but you know we're gonna keep that separate. Fam, this Dolph case is bananas, and I'm gonna tell you why it's bananas. Shout out to the dude Ratchet TV. If you care about the Dolph case, follow Ratchet TV on all platforms. This cat is like literally like one of the best hood journalists, and I hate to put hood in front of it, but I say that so you can reference to know what I mean. it seems like it was obviously a lineup, right? But it's just so much evidence and proof that the dude got shot inside the cookie store. And the rest of the dudes that came from behind just shot the shit up as almost like a decoy. It's just kind of bananas how this young Dolph shit is tying out, man, and the people involved. And, rest in peace to his family, man. It bodes the question. I think it was Jim Jones that said it. When did rap become the most dangerous profession in the country? In terms of entertainment. I won't say that in terms of like people that are in the military or people that, even do certain type construction jobs, nigga, like that niggas take for granted. Somebody be washing the windows on the 100th floor.
It comes with the territory.
Or being a rapper?
It is to say, yeah.
Yeah, now it does.
Comes with,
I think it's gotten to a point where we used to say that like, oh, rap is, hip hop kind of came from the streets. There's a little underbelly of the streets in it. Now it's like hand in hand. Like, nigga, if you gonna be a rapper and got money and walk around in nice things and do appearances and do walkthroughs for bags like rappers do, you better have some goons around you. You're gonna have to have some niggas around you that's ready to bust that thing and deal with the consequences of it. And that's fucking bananas. Are you gonna have to get to the point where your that's a bad word, but your finances are gonna have to be like in question where if you're only making $800,000 a year, not only that's a lot of money in this country, but if you're making $800K a rapper a year, that's not a lot when you're famous and people know you and you can't live in normal neighborhoods and you have to live up amongst your means. It's not that these cats is always living like beyond their means because they want to floss and get clout. I remember with Colin Kaepernick when he first got drafted, bro. I was talking to the nigga and he was like, yeah, I got like 4 roommates because where we have to live at for safety purposes, none of us, nigga, on our rookie salaries can afford that.
Right.
Now you talking about the San Francisco Hills, boy.
Yep.
$3.5, $4.5 million homes, boy. $3 million condos, boy. What this little $800,000 a year contract gonna do, nigga, for me over here? Now that was cool if I wasn't on the cover of Sports Illustrated and Madden. And niggas didn't know my name, but nigga, if I pull up, nigga, in my little Chrysler, nigga, and park out here, like in a normal neighborhood, for $800,000, you can live good in the Bay. But you're still gonna be in somewhat of a common area where you're driving through neighborhoods where it's like, yo, ain't that the quarterback for the fucking boy? Them niggas will kidnap Cap. We need about 10 million. Like, you know what I'm saying? You want your quarterback back? Like, what are you doing? You just got this nigga out here? Hey, when Jeremy Lin, it was a big story. Lin Sanity, oh yeah, he stays, he's so modest. He stays on the couch at his brother-in-law's house or some shit like that. Oh yeah, nigga, where's else he gonna live at? In Brooklyn?
Can't afford to live it.
Fuck, this nigga gonna live in Harlem somewhere, nigga? Right. Like, he ain't had the funds to live nowhere else in New York. He's not Manhattan. On no. He was in the beginning of that D League player. It was the D League then. He wasn't no like 2-way contract where it was like you're signed as an NBA player, but we just got you stored down in the G League developing. He was really in the G League, a separate league.
The D League,
excuse me, that was trying to merge with the league in certain ways, and like it was still developing. So when he went over, he had more. I met Jeremy because he was in Reno.
Yeah, he
had fucking endorsement money, so he was taken care of financially. But when you don't know where you're gonna live at, you ain't gonna go buy a place in New York. You're not even gonna set up a long-term lease situation there because either way it go, you're spending a lot of money for lodging in New York City where you have to live to play for the Knicks. You ain't gonna go buy no place in Jersey somewhere, nigga. Like when you know that I ain't even on the Knicks for sure. I could be cut tomorrow.
It's fucked up. He's overseas now because he probably never get another.
Let me get a contract. Jeremy Lin had a great career for what his talent was worth. He didn't get shorted. He had a great career. He over-exceeded, in my opinion. He made millions of dollars playing in the NBA. He can go in any gym in the world and be respected. And he did something for his heritage and his culture that had never happened.
That's true.
Bro, it wasn't no Asian American superstar basketball players.
That but you know Harvard.
But you know that I don't know. There's a lot of Asian Americans that go to Harvard.
Basketball players, right? I said.
It's a lot of Asian Americans that go to Harvard and play on the basketball team. They're not NBA players, nigga.
Yeah.
They didn't go on for 30 against UConn in college, nigga, and in the tournament. Like they wasn't NBA players that got mixtapes out, nigga, and highlight reels against NBA players. Nigga, I went for 30, 10, and 7
Playing next
against the Lakers, nigga, against the Knicks, nigga, against some star players. At one point in time, he was looked at as an emerging star. Got a couple of contracts to be a star. Now, he didn't live up to that on the court. That's fine. He ain't the first player to not do that. So he didn't lose, nigga. Take your lumps, nigga. They invested in you. You gave him what you had. Yeah, all right, nigga, I'm out. If he's overseas, it's because he wants to play basketball still. It's not like he needs the money.
You see, Kemba's been taking out the lineup in New York.
Dog, I've always said that Tibbs is the most overrated, underachieving coach.
Ever.
Not ever, but
Thibodeau.
Not ever, but he up there. Boy up there.
Yeah, that's what y'all got is Thibodeau? I mean, not y'all. You're not a New York fan. You're a Brooklyn fan. That's what they got?
Nah, honestly, bro.
You're a Knicks fan, right?
Nah.
A
nigga said, I'm from New York, but never been a fan of the Knicks.
Yeah, you're a Laker fan.
You know what I'm saying? Nah. Bro, honestly, the only team I've ever been a fan of is the Sixers when AI was there, nigga, and the Warriors.
So
Warriors before niggas won a chip, nigga.
You're a fucking Warriors. You're a Warriors fan.
Yeah, nigga, I'll be going with
Dub
Dub City.
For a long time.
I'll be going with Dub City.
You're not a bandwagon. I keep forgetting you're a Warriors fan.
Yeah, I'll be fucking with the Dubs. And the main reason why is because nigga got to go to games like little shit like that, like going to Sacramento and being able to like see the Warriors play.
Right.
It's like, oh, that's dope.
I just always be putting that.
And then the Warriors always had dope players. They just wasn't good for some reason. They always had the players that you like to watch though. They always had a nigga. They always had a nigga that was gonna dunk on somebody, cross a nigga up, hit a deep three. You know what I'm saying? Like just all throughout their history, they always had exciting basketball players. So I always paid attention to the Warriors. And then like when probably like the year or two before they got Steph, I was like, man, I watched them all the time. And I remember my apartment at the time, I didn't have cable. So the only games I would get was Warrior games. And I was like, nigga, I knew the whole squad. Nigga, I watched them all the time. And it was just be like, nigga, I'm watching these Warriors play, nigga. And I started cheering for them against good teams. Like, nigga, they almost beat them, nigga. Like, and then I remember I was like, ooh, nigga, the Knicks is about to bring they about to bring in Steph Curry. That was the rumor. The Knicks were going after Steph Curry in the draft. The Knicks want Steph Curry. And I was like, yo, if they bring that kid home, nigga, they bring that boy back, nigga. I might go home. I might go home and get me a fly little Curry jersey. You know what I'm saying? And I was telling niggas that he should be the first round pick. To the club, I was like, bro. I mean, the number one pick. I was telling everybody that. I was like, bro, I would take Steph Curry over Blake Griffin. Over Blake Griffin.
You took Blake?
No, the Warriors fired one of their assistant GMs or some shit like that. That like earlier that season, or like right before it was something like in a weird time, like late in the season they fired him, and he went over to the Warriors. I forgot which one it was, which individual it was allegedly. And he went over there like, yo, scratch whatever y'all on. We getting Steph Curry. They had to pick before the Knicks. That's why Steph Curry kind of got booed when he got drafted because it was like, nigga, what the fuck? Because he was in New York and they were like, yo, what the like, boo, nigga, no, because niggas was bombing in that draft. Minnesota had 2 picks, nigga, before the 7th pick, and they got 2 point guards not named Steph Curry. They got a kid named Ricky Rubio that denied to come.
Shit.
He's good now, but the thing is, if he was an American-born player, he would have never got a chance to develop that long in the league.
Nope.
He'd have been cut already, overseas somewhere, or considered washed.
Because Rubio's not, he cool,
but he ain't elite.
Nope. He ain't top 6.
But what he is, he's extremely comfortable playing pro basketball. He's been playing pro basketball since he was 13 years old.
Yeah, but he's not top 6.
But he's extremely comfortable. Playing pro basketball, you can put him in any pro system, nigga. He knows how to run
like
it.
Think
said, about it.
Like you've been here before.
Think about it. If you got to play in an NFL quarterback, look what Tom Brady's doing.
Yeah.
What if he got to play quarterback in the NFL since he was 14? You know how much better he would be now?
Right.
Just off comfort, my nigga.
That's why soccer players are way better.
Think about how okay, I'm glad you brought up football and soccer. Think about how it's crazy because if you really pay attention, soccer players have a higher peak. Yep. They get to do things with the sport and bend the sport in ways that basketball players, unlike players like we've seen Kobe, LeBron, Kareem flirt with it, where like they prolong their peak. LeBron's had the longest prime ever. in damn near any sport. So he's still doing things that he was doing, nigga, when he was 19 years old athletically. It's not on a consistent basis. He don't go all the time. But when he get in the air, nigga, and blow by somebody and it's time to turn the jets on, he still look like Bron. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna see him do great things that, like, damn, Jordan wasn't healthy enough long enough. He wasn't strong enough, athletic enough long enough to be this Jordan this late. Mm-hmm. Kobe broke down with the Achilles and this and that. Like, he had to retire. Shaq broke down. Like,
Ewing broke down.
Vince Carter, like, had a long career, but he wasn't the same explosive. T-Mac broke down. Like, T-Mac never got out the first round.
Jason Kidd was one of the rare ones I had.
But he reinvented his game.
He did. No,
but this is the thing though. As a point guard, you're afforded that. Because you can turn your back when point guards lose that first step.
They can turn their back.
They turn their back on you, nigga, and start backpedaling, nigga, and put that shoulder in you and just dribble you down. Mm-hmm. Now I just got to make sure you don't steal the ball from me, youngster. Yeah. That's like playing with my little brother, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? You might be a little quick and shit. Yeah, watch out, nigga. So little ass out the way. You know what I'm saying? Lean that GP, lean that shoulder on him, dribbling out here. Look, watch out, nigga.
Right.
So ass out the way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Stop trying to steal the ball. Yo, young boy with all that energy. You know what I'm saying? And then once I get into passing court, nigga, I'm up. Get that to that big man back down at that time. Mm-hmm. Or I'm in the offense, nigga. Now I'm moving without the ball, and now savviness. You could be quicker than me, but I know you're going to beat me to this spot, so I'm just going to back cut you.
Yep.
Use your speed against you.
Yep.
Now I got the ball. I'm a pro, nigga. I can shoot from anywhere, nigga. I'm like, that's that old man game.
Snatch you the fuck back.
That's that old man. It's that old man that come to the gym and be busting y'all's young ass. And you know it, and you don't want to give it to him because he ain't crossing niggas up. He ain't dunking nothing. But he could, man. Bro, I remember this nigga. Who was it, dog? Like, one time we was at the gym, man. We hooping. We in Cali. Some nigga pull up. Well, I ain't gonna say they ain't pull up because we ain't see what he pulled up in. Son come to the gym, nigga, bust our ass. But we talking shit because we in there killing. And then he get on the court with the same niggas we was killing. And they knock us off, nigga, about 3 games straight. But we still spicy. We talking shit, nigga. Like, you know. And he older. So I'm like, man, this nigga, like, fuck that. Nigga, let's run this shit back. And he's like, look, youngster, I done already been where you trying to go. And when he said that shit, you know, nigga, like, you know OGs, bro. Our OGs is slick like us, man. Like, but they been doing it longer. And that shit was penetrating. This is at the nigga, prefaces of my career. I'm in a like, and he don't know that, but I'm like, nigga, some gotta give. I'm weighing phone calls, like, what I'm gonna do? I'm weighing options, like, it might be time to hang these joints up. I don't want to go to Poland and make under $40K a year.
You do that here.
And have my mother and sister helping me with money, like, just so you can be like, oh, I talked to King, that nigga overseas playing ball, nigga. It sound good on the gram, it'll look good, but I ain't had that lineup, nigga. So it was just like, I don't know if I'm. And at the age, I'm thinking my knee, I'm like, man, I don't know, bro. It might be a wrap for this. This might be a dub right here. And I'm at peace with it, but I'm still a dog, nigga. I'm still out here. We hooping. All that shit's on the sideline. And when he said that, it kind of like, nigga, fuck you talking about, nigga, who is you? He just laughed, like, don't worry about it. We ran it back. Oh, but this time he wasn't playing with your boy.
Oh, he busted your. Oh, he busted your ass, Paul.
Fam, this time.
He wasn't done that. He wasn't just trying to get exercise this time. He really trying to bust your ass.
He wasn't cooling this time, nigga. Them little, like, slick passes and, like, 4-5 J's, couple floaters, nah. That nigga, like, must have laced them sneaks up, nigga. Like, let me teach this nigga a life lesson. Because we all nice at something, my nigga.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
Oh, you think that you deserve something because you nice.
You're the only nigga nice at
No. You think you deserve something.
Right.
Because you nice. Let me show you something, youngster. Bro, the nigga got so strong and fast and just powerful and just robotic. Like, nigga, when I say that nigga was kissing the net, yeah. What the fuck? Who is this nigga?
Shot got more spin on it and shit.
Nigga, he got gray in his beard. He's older. Yeah. He like an old fly nigga, like your uncle or something.
That net on you,
son,
nigga.
I'm like, nigga, who is this nigga? Nigga, we looking at this nigga like, bro, everybody guarding him. He giving it to everybody. Oh, nigga, he skipping backwards, backing in the niggas, just giving you a little something, just fading away. Not even looking at the basket. Just
so he just
fading away, nigga. Turning around, nigga, like Brian be doing. Turning around, falling, nigga, just yak up. All of a sudden, he a little faster and shit. Like, damn, this nigga fast. Like, bro, he getting up and down. He getting from A to B. Dog, we breathing hard. Like, we like, yo. He must have not passed the ball the whole goddamn game, dog. 15. Nigga, he ain't owe us, but nigga, about 15-5, 15-6, nigga. Get up off the court, nigga. He's walking off the court. Niggas is trying to gather what they want to do about it. Like, nigga, we want to run it back?
No.
This 4 straight right now. He beat us with some niggas that we was running. They ain't weak, but we was running them. He get on the court. He got these niggas looking like an all-star team, fam. Like, he dropping 10 dimes, and I drop dimes. But he dropping, he getting the ball. I'm like, who is this nigga? Like, fam, we walking outside. Like, everybody kind of go outside. We about to go outside and hit the L. Like, talk about this. Like, nigga, did you? Even the niggas that's on the other court, they looking like, nigga, who is this nigga? Like, running up to us. I'm like, bro, all right. We get outside. Nigga, he get a towel and shit. Nigga, he wiping his face and shit. Boy, if this nigga don't pull up to one of the most sex, it is Ferrari, Lambo, something, cherry red, nigga. Right? That nigga take off his shoes, put on some motherfucking little Gucci loafer joints, nigga, like, hey, youngster, man, y'all be cool, man. He's like, hey, you nice. Right? Nigga get in the car, like, other dude with it, hey, man, nigga, who are you?
Who are you?
Nigga,
Right,
like,
somebody just had to ask him.
because I'm not about to ask him. Like, nigga, I know who you are. I don't need to know. I see who you are, nigga. There's no way you're that good at hooping. You ain't like, nigga, okay. So I don't know who you are. No, bro, this nigga didn't play for the Clippers, the Hawks, nigga, the fucking, like this nigga. Nigga graduated from USC, nigga, all type of shit. Hey, this nigga the real deal. We just don't know him.
You just didn't know.
Nigga, he up a few mil off this game, nigga, like newly retired. Like, I still come in here and get work every once in a while type shit. And I'm still nicer than any nigga in a pickup game. Motherfucker. Guarding AI and Kobe and niggas like that. Like, nigga, shut your little young, fiery nigga, spicy ass up, young blood. And go figure out how you gonna get one of these cars right here. And dog, I swear, my life, nigga, I remember after that, my mom, like, other people, like, asked me, what you gonna do? Like, opportunities kind of coming up, nigga, little things, like, oh, you can go play. Nah, I don't know, bro. I don't know. And it wasn't off the hoop. You know what I'm saying? It was off the, like, oh, I need to get to that. I need to get on the fastest track. I'm always gonna be nice at hoop. I can go hoop. I want to jump into something. I want to go hoop with some niggas and do the same shit to them, nigga. Like, who the fuck is this little nigga? Like, hey, man, I own this little thing right here, nigga. Don't even worry about it. You heard of that? Yeah, that's me. Get your life right. Because too many of us are wasting time in that gym. You heard me?
Yeah.
Too many of us, nigga, are in the studio, nigga. Like, too many of us are creating, but we're not creating. And we got to start creating, nigga, platforms. We got to start creating, like, spaces of opportunity that are lucrative. We're some of the most innovative, creative people in the world, man. There's no reason to not do that.
I don't like that name. It bothers me.
Now I'm gonna be honest. This ain't gonna be popular. I kind of like it.
It bothers me.
You know why I like
the
it?
Staples Center.
It's biased.
Staples Center. It's like, okay, what if they named Madison Square Garden the Crypto Center?
I don't give a shit. Well, nah, you can't do that.
Oh,
but no, but let me correct you though.
No,
see, this is the thing though. LA has already done that. They've already changed the name.
Oh, because it was the college. They
it
were
was
at
the
the
college.
LA Forum, right?
The Forum.
Yeah.
They already changed. So it's like they do that. They willing,
Right.
like, if the bag is right, we gonna change our shit. Which every company is. Because if somebody come in, if one of them rich boys, nigga, come in, them dudes that's really up, you know what I'm saying, come in and be like, yo, we got $50 billion
To put our name on it for 10 years.
Amazon Arena in New York, formerly known as Madison Square.
They won't.
I mean,
MSG got a little more.
You might.
A little more.
Yeah,
like,
MSG just don't have to do
history.
it. Like, you're right.
Never has to change its name. Staples Center doesn't have that. I feel like the Forum had that more than the Staples Center.
I like it because it dies with Kobe.
That's real.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
I like that they close it out with a championship, even though it didn't get to play out in Staples. But it was a championship dedicated in the Staples, to that banner's going to hang as a Staples Center championship. close it out on the chip, get it out of there. And now it's just, even though y'all got Bron at the twilight of his years, it's a different type of Bron than it's different than any other superstar at the twilight of it. It ain't like Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan and then when they and Shaq and them when they came back it ain't Jordan with the Wizards, nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So let's just ride this out and see what we can do with AD and them and LeBron and build this up to make sure that we ain't ever in those holes that we was before when Kobe left. Like, I mean, the Lakers suck, nigga. I think Crypto Center is lit because this crypto shit is where it's at, my guy, and that's more of an even indicator.
I just think it's more of a, I just gotta get used to the name.
Yeah.
Same as when we left the Palace of Auburn Hills and we're now the Little Caesars Arena or whatever.
First off, Little Caesars.
I mean, we're still Palace. It's still the Palace.
I know
of Auburn
that
Hills,
Little Caesars. I know what Little Caesars means to Detroit.
Yeah, I know why.
But that shit should never
change.
Be the name of any arena.
Oh yeah, $5 pizza.
It's just tacky, fam.
So you could be any other pizza chain and get you an arena. You just can't be Little Caesars.
Nigga, the $5 nigga, I can't even sit down and eat my shit. Relax. You know, Reno had the longest lasting like sit in, the one by Reno High School. Dog, I was telling niggas like, bro, I've been to Little Caesars where like they got the buffet still. Like, you remember that shit? Like, they buffet was lit.
Back when Little Caesars still like $11, $12.
Nice little joint. Get a nice little salad.
Man, hey, on a crazy side note, nigga glad he can eat cheese again.
Oh yeah, fam. I remember you
fucking with them lactate pills. Them shits work. Didn't put a whole lot of food back on my menu.
Okay.
Cause nigga, a burger was so
righteous.
Nigga, In-N-Out burger with no cheese. That's the driest, crunchiest hamburger ever, nigga.
No. You know that African kid that got famous on TikTok?
Yeah, for like
doing
this shit. Like, why are you doing all this extra shit to do this simple shit?
Peep this, bro. I'm watching a commercial. It has, I forgot what celebrity is in it. There's a couple big time celebrities in it, fam. And they're like, is it like this? Like Steph Curry might have been in this shit or something.
Yeah,
like,
Steph Curry. Yeah. I know.
Okay, is it like this? Is it like this? You ever notice one thing about that commercial?
What?
The African kid is not in it. Because these social media platforms own your content and your likeness when you do those type of things. And now they're making money off that shit in a worldwide episode of commercial, like, you know, like broadcast commercial.
Same thing with that chick and her dance.
I know all these kids in their dances. And I'm thinking like, damn, bro, like that's kind of grimy.
All the dances they took.
That's kind of grimy because I'm like, damn, bro, like this kid like made that lit, like whatever. And now they don't even need him because they could just reference him and people know who they're talking about and it's their product. People got to understand that. That's one thing I kind of was like, Trump's not wrong for saying that, like, if Fortnite wants to operate here, nigga, they need to sell into some American ownership.
Real. Or not Fortnite, TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok, my bad. But more corporations should have to do that. Like, I don't think that foreign companies should be able to come over here and just make their way in America.
And I don't think that we should be able to put our shit in foreign countries to avoid taxes either. I feel like it works as in both ways. I feel you on that.
Well, the thing
is, I feel like you should be.
They're not tied together, but I get it.
No, they're not.
Okay.
Tied together at all, I'm saying, just the same way as big corporations here outsource.
Right.
That shouldn't happen. Nah, nigga. Pay them taxes over here. Help this fucking infrastructure the rest of us do.
No, that's what I mean. That's why they was calling Obama a socialist when Obama did that.
Trump made sense for you ain't gonna operate TikTok in America when we can't do shit to you with American law. That makes sense.
Yeah, but it makes sense, but it's hypocritical when you say, okay, you're for outsourcing. Because you're
No, I'm not.
No, I'm not saying you.
Oh, you're talking about Trump.
I'm talking about the Republican Party
yeah.
and these type business.
Yeah.
When they outsource, you're outsourcing because you know that you don't have to. There's no maternity leave.
Yep.
There's like Mitt Romney got caught bragging about how he turned Staples around is because they bought old jails and made employees live there for $4-something an hour. And if you left, nigga, you don't have your job no more. You eat, sleep, shit, nigga, live here, nigga, and work here. And this is the best job, nigga, that anybody in your city, nigga, your township, nigga, can ever imagine. It's the most money you ever make. So you're just sending that money back home to take care of your peoples.
Yeah.
You're just a sacrificial lamb at that point.
Yeah.
You don't have no social life, no life development, no human interactions, nigga. You're just working like some kind of organized slave. And
Like
and
a
that's
fucking
what
robot on an assembly.
and that's what we got to pay attention to. Like, there's nothing wrong with working those type of wages or hours and shit like that. If that's what you negotiated and that's what you want to do. But for them to be able to squeeze, like, dog, I'm grateful for the job I have, even though it's slow getting back. I'm patient with it because it's just hard to go back and work for somebody when they want to pay you scraps, bro.
That's no reason
it's
I
just
got
not.
a fucking regular job.
It's just not. Yeah, bro.
trying to
Like,
keep
trying like the
self-employed,
entrepreneurial way. Because if you look at it, fam, I had an OG tell me this. He said, bro, chances are you're gonna be broke anyway, by the standards that your mind thinks. In terms of like how you compare wealth in this country, chances are you're not gonna be a rich person, right? He said, but that's okay. Don't be discouraged by that because you still can be a rich person.
Yeah.
He said, but the thing is, if you're gonna live within a modest type range of life anyway, if you don't see yourself owning a Ferrari in the next 5 years realistically, and you don't see yourself being able to really put that down payment on that mansion or compound of a home in South Beach realistically, or you don't see yourself being able to fly by coastal and go to the award shows and kick it and do all these games and do, like, realistically, he said, don't be blinded by it. Set yourself up. He said, motherfucker, if your workforce and experience can get you is only worth a job at McDonald's, he said your brain can surely think of something that can pay you as much as McDonald's is willing to pay you. Mm-hmm. It's mindset. It's mindset. When I see a person, and I think maybe like my native New Yorkism makes me pay attention to that because my family's keen to that. And even when I go back to home, like now, I can see that even more as an adult. But my mother always painted that as well. Like, there's skill sets and talents that people overlook that can make you wealthy or that can sustain your living. If you can be a great seamstress, if you have a skill set of plumbing, you know, and particularly the things that you don't have to get licensed for anymore or yet. You know, these things that people will pay for services. They want you to forget that people will pay you for goods and services. If you can grow the best fucking apricots, grow them, and you have a little land, you don't have to have as much land as Sunkist, nigga. But if you got a little patch in the backyard growing them, and you know only a barrel of apricots is good for you and your family for the month, man, go ahead and find you a little name LLC, nigga, for 125, you know what I'm saying, $1,500, nigga, to get your whole package together, nigga, and all that type of shit. Nigga, do all that, you know, Dre's fucking apricots, and find, all you need is one store that'll buy them from you. And if not that, then go to the farmer's market and sell them. Go to places where people are willing to buy fruit and fresh fruit and naturally grown shit, and that's a small business. And the thing is, that grows within itself, but that's sustainable. That's sustainable. These are lessons that you would think that in democracy, in a capitalistic society, if freedom and equality mattered, they would teach in school. Not the Revolutionary War, nigga, and, you know, this and this and that. And it's like, why, nigga, you don't even need to learn about some of these things. I mean, not so much. You know, once you hear the story, you heard the story. Okay? But these are stories that would be better off told as Americans at home. But learning how to make small businesses, they've trained American citizens and students to become employees and not bosses. Motherfuckers to go work for LRG instead of creating their own LRG. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong. We got to normalize working to be an entrepreneur. That's what I had to get over my head. Like, okay, well, damn, I'm going to do this union shit. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Ness. Ness said his condolences.
Appreciate it, bro.
But, yeah, I'm going to do this little union shit. It's not the most sexy thing, but it pays well, and I don't have a boss over my head. I got little liberties and freedoms there that work for me. I can, you know, manage my time there and not be consumed with work. It's a job that when you leave, You leave, fam.
Bruh, where I stand on I can't even have a regular job again, nigga. I don't know how to have an interview anymore. It's been so long since I've done any of that shit. I can't. Not like what you do. What you do, I could essentially do.
Right, because
like office
yeah, my
work,
shit ain't
I'm
no
talking
interview, like nigga,
fucking
yeah, like it ain't no interview
type
process,
of
nigga, like yeah,
retail,
it ain't
type
like that.
Dog,
Yeah, I feel you.
I'm not
No, I feel you,
doing
dog,
interviews no more. I'm not doing none of that shit.
It's
But working for the union is way different. Like you know once you in there, you win.
Well, I'm just a stagehand. So what happens is like I need 10 of y'all to go get those cords, and then we need this, that. We need to run this. We need to run some carpet over here. We need to build this stage wall, nigga. And you just divvy up like, nigga, okay, well, y'all gonna do that. All right, we're gonna do this over here. We're gonna get started over here, so y'all don't have to do this. And then before you know it, like, what else we need to do? All right, do
but
this.
There's no interview process of a manager.
That's what I'm
asking
saying.
What makes you want to work at this?
And when you at work,
because I need a
job, right?
And some money.
And when you're at work, there's no like, hey, can you guys stop talking? Less talking, guys. Like, don't look at your phone, or oh, where'd you go? Can you ask me to go to the bathroom? It ain't none of that shit. Like, hey, bro, you thirsty? Yeah, I'm running to go get some sodas real quick, nigga. Like, hey, bro, hey, man, what you doing? Shit, that wore me out, man. I gotta have a smoke. Like, niggas is working, fam. We ain't got time for all those little like ancillary things.
Ask for breaks.
Yeah, bro. Like, nigga, if you gotta piss, you're a grown ass man. Nigga, go piss.
Right.
The fuck? You have a contract to work here. To be working. We're paying you this excess amount of money and giving you these benefits and these access to our wealth in sense, nigga, in terms of protections against certain things and this and that. Based on that agreement, we expect you to honor it, but like, cause we're gonna honor ours. If we catch you not honoring it, nigga, we'll move accordingly. But we're not looking for it. You go get a job at a Walmart or Fortune 500 company or something like that. They're treating you, nigga, like an elementary student. Like, you gotta ask to. I used to hate that in school. The fuck you mean in a minute? No. What you mean? In a minute, you'll let me go to the bathroom. I gotta piss right now. And you just have the military nigga leave here, nigga, and do a presentation on joining that shit, nigga. Like, I can go get an M16 and be in the military, but I can't tell you I gotta go piss. It's those things right there that drive young people mad. Because you're getting old enough to where you kind of like, you starting to get common sense. So it's new on your brain. So everything that don't make common sense, you rebel against. But you don't learn until you're older that, oh, this shit ain't commonsensical. Like, it ain't like, this ain't a common sense world. That's why it ain't common. You got all kind of leaders, nigga, doing non-common sense shit all the time. Dieter. Niggas fuck. Dog, you know what pissed me off? My nigga Dave hit me. In Cali, in Oakland. Guess what California's getting right now?
Reparations.
Not even that. Yeah, that too. They working on that too. But guess what they get?
More EDD.
Stimulus. Hey, we know it's still been rough. Hold this stimulus. Hey,
this is a statewide thing.
Yeah, because guess what though? Peep this.
They paid too much. Some haven't.
No. Guess what? We didn't have to pay for none of the other ones. Those was federal. We run this state off y'all taxes.
Yep, here's some of it back.
We're elected officials by y'all.
Hold that.
Hey, hold this. We got hella extra money from the government because of COVID.
Right, we don't need this.
Hold that. Well, everybody get a little 15.
Moving to California, nigga.
Like, that shit is crazy, right? Like,
California.
I was just like, damn. Well, no, it ain't even that. Like, Nevada, hold on, like Nevada, y'all be wanting to be like Cali and do all the Cali shit, nigga. Run that stimulus.
Because California is probably the most progressive state we have.
Run that stimulus, bro.
Nigga.
State-wise is California, city, New York. If you're in New York City, you're good, but it's not. It's that's a city.
Right.
The mayor only got so much power. It's wild, bro. My thing is, it should be a rule. Like, if any state do some shit that all the other citizens of the other state think is fly, that should, nigga, majority rule, nigga. If they should do it, vote, and be like, okay, well, California just legalized marijuana. Or actually, Washington State did it first. Now, every American should get to do a poll that night, or a ballot, right? Do a little mail-in ballot. And if majority of the people say that that's a good law, that should go into law nationally. Because it's the same fucking country. What do you mean kids got ounces and quarter pounds, nigga, running around in Nevada, Oregon, California, Washington, and nigga, they're not really going to prison for it. It's not. It's a ticket. And it's kids in fucking Memphis that get caught with an ounce, nigga, that's going to prison for selling drugs. Getting 10, 15 years. When you think about Lil Bootsy's cases, nigga, as far as the weed go, nigga, like all combined, it was under an ounce. That's nuts. Considering the weed that nigga we was running around with as kids. He was running around with ease. You know what I'm saying? Doing their thing, kicking it. Like, it's what it was. It was around. So that's always kind of been bugged out. You get 2 years, 5 years, some shit like that, mandatory for having a gun in New York. You can buy as many niggas walking around in Walmart, nigga, with thangers on them. In the same country. Where there's federal tax. For everybody. Come on, bro. It don't make sense. Make it make sense. I thought that TikTok shit was dangerous. Not dangerous, but kind of grimy or something to pay attention to. Hopefully he got some kind of kickback. I'm pretty sure he didn't. You know what I'm saying? From everything I've been hearing about TikTok. And then, lastly, bro, on my jam, did you see the 3-6 Mafia shit?
I heard about it.
And Bone?
I heard about it.
I'm gonna be honest with you, fam. Like, I watched highlights and shit. I didn't really watch. I'm not the biggest Bone fan.
I'm not the biggest either.
I'm not the biggest 3-6. I can't, like, that ain't my way.
I forgot that was going on.
What's up, sis? You know, they had a beef for years, I guess. And I never knew about the beef, so I'm not even gonna hold you. And I never even peeped the 3-6 Mafia with the whole devil worshiping rumors and all that shit.
I didn't either.
I ain't even get it, but then it was 3 6s.
It made sense. When
like afterwards, I'm like, oh, okay. And then it's funny because Bone and them, y'all took it offensive because y'all all in the Christ and rapping about the afterlife and the crossroads and shit, nigga. And I get it now. This shit would have probably been interesting, nigga, when we all was young and fly still. Mm-hmm. But like Busy said, we should have fought 20 years ago, nigga, not now. In our 20s, not in our 40s, 50s. It just was a bad look to me. I like what Swiss did. He got in the comments and flamed them niggas live on the show.
Did he?
He said Bone and them made them niggas pay that nigga 10 times the rate. He's like, nigga, that we paid them at least 3 times more than any white venue has paid them, nigga, in the last fucking 10, 15 years. He said, nigga, I know for a fact we paid them at least 5 times their show rate, nigga. Like, we just broke bread. We just paid them. And he said, we got the bag to do it because we got Triller behind us. And we made verses a thing. So we got a big bag to spend on these things. And y'all black music, y'all black excellence, we're giving y'all money, nigga. We're putting y'all on in a way that nobody else is fucking with y'all. Nobody was checking for a Bone show. This is going to make y'all streams go up to a younger audience. All that. Nigga, you show up late and tell me that y'all not going on until your man's called from Rikers Island, nigga, to do a prayer. Because y'all gave him y'all word. So they had to wait for that. And by that time happened, nigga, he like Busy. He's looking at Busy, like talking about Busy, like, boy, you drunk. You a little sloppy, you slurring. And now you throw a water bottle at a nigga because he called you a bitch when the whole time leading up, you said it's all professional. We gonna stir this shit up. So the views and anxiety, then we gonna show love at the end. That's why at the end they did the crossword songs where they dedicated to all the recently like fallen rappers that keep getting killed and shit like that. Like, nigga, it was, so that's why at first in my notes I was like, the shit was like it was a shit show turned classic. Like, the shit went bad and then it went like right. And by the time they left, nigga was all love and niggas. This is like a 20-year feud that just got mended. And you already know they're going to end up going on tour together and all that type of shit. Nigga, like, this Versus shit was genius because it just reintroduces a younger. It's the first vehicle that they really ever created that reintroduces younger audiences to older music.
Introducing younger audiences to older music.
Okay.
Because I posted something the other day about a little white girl talking about slowed and reverb music. AKA
Chopped and Screwed.
Right.
What about it?
Saying that it was made by this white dude named
the dubstep
Slater.
Dude. cultural appropriation
These
is something.
Gen Z motherfuckers.
No, cultural appropriation is a real thing, and it's something that like people laugh at, and they make it sound like you're sensitive to saying it. But if they're if they're accepted by the dominant culture, they'll never understand because they'll never know what it's like to like not be the one that always gets to be the one to decide who's excluded.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people in the dominant society of today's culture don't want to deal with that. They don't even want to they don't want to acknowledge that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
watching her get flamed in the comments was fucking hilarious, though.
Watching Ryan Garcia get flamed in his comments when he tried to call out Tank at the fight was funny.
Shit is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that shit was funny, bro.
He tried to call him in after the Esau fight?
Yeah, and he was like, oh, man, niggas fighting these C-list dudes. He's like, I've been trying to fight you. Stop ducking me. Remember, Floyd can't save you. He was doing all that shit, and he was like, niggas was like, where you been at, man? Like, nigga, didn't you, like, pull out your last fight because of anxiety, fam?
He did,
like, yeah, nigga, they was going in on that nigga. They was like, bro. And it was funny because I even, like, tapped in. I was like, because, you know, I was rarely catching a live, nigga. It was a live, and I was like, fam, y'all got this nigga fucked up. I'm waiting for the album. Ryan Garcia was gonna come out with an album soon.
Rapping?
I don't know what it's gonna be. It might be a little Latin rap, or nigga, he probably could sing a little bit.
Are you being serious?
Listen to me, bro. Now this is serious. I'm not trying to be funny.
Okay.
I'm not like being, and I definitely try to be racial, which is just an observation.
Right.
Spanish. Like stars, that's a go-to for them. They can get that off.
Yeah, that's real.
If you're considered a sex symbol in the Spanish Latin community, the world, nigga, you don't have to be like the best singer. You don't have to be Mark Anthony, nigga. But you can get it out. Nigga, Oscar De La Hoya got a couple albums that sold well because his female fans bought the records, nigga.
Hold on.
You know what I'm saying? Sound like the dog. But they bought the records because when they went to go to meet and greets, all you have to do is do the meet and greets.
Yeah.
Now you do the meet and greets, nigga. You're getting paid to come to a record store, and the females are gonna line up around the building, nigga, to get a picture with Oscar De La Hoya and get that album signed. Mm-hmm. Females will find a song on that motherfucker that they like. Right. And nowadays with streaming, dog, look at his stardom. He don't have no belt. His stardom, he's up there talked about with Tank and all these dudes. He ain't accomplished.
Don't got a belt.
No, nigga, exactly. He ain't accomplished half of what these niggas accomplished actually in the ring. That's why Tank was like, nigga, he don't even fight, bro. What we talking about? We talking about real fighters. That nigga's an internet dude. He don't fight nobody. He'll call a nigga out. They'll start the negotiations. It'll be his name attached to a big name. They'll start a low-key promote. Nigga, he'll pull out for some ancillary reason. I got an ankle or quad or hurt my hand, nigga, sparring, or nigga, I have anxiety, right? He did all this and worked himself into a couple endorsement deals, so he's getting money. He's making a little money when he fights because he had a nice little deal with De La Hoya because he was dubbed the next De La Hoya. But the difference between him was he came out in the school of a very elite class of black amateur fighters, and I give Ryan credit. He is a talented fighter. He just knows he's not the best fighter in his class. So rather than not be number one, I don't want to do that. I'm more popular than you niggas. And for a long time, that worked because I got more Twitter followers than you, Tank. Oh, I got more Twitter followers than you, Devin Haney. I don't got to fight you, nigga. You, and if I do fight you, it's going to be 70-30 or 60-40 me because I'm the A-list. And it's like, no, nigga, I got a belt. Or no, nigga, like I beat more A-list fighters than you. Mm-hmm. What happened was he rode that wave to the point where he's up. He's a star. He's a celebrity. But as a boxer, his credibility is waving. And now these dudes, now Tank has more star power. Nigga, I just sold out the Garden. I just got to sell out in Atlanta. And I just got to sell out in Baltimore. Like, nigga, I'm a star now. I sold out Vegas. Mm-hmm. I'm a sellout magnet now, nigga. I don't need you at all, Ryan Garcia. That fight that was going to be a good fight, I'm the complete A-list side. I got belts. Nigga, I got all that. You have none of those things. You just have millions of social media followers because every day you wake up, nigga, oil your chest up, nigga, do punching exhibitions, and nigga have your motherfucking MMA celebrity friends that sign the Under Armour, punch you in the stomach because you're signed to Under Armour. You know what I'm saying? And you're getting this money. It means that you're getting this money. You know what I'm saying? And you're not spending money for training now because you got Under Armour behind you, and it means a lot. So now you're doing that, and guess what now? Floyd talk about this all the time. Oh, it's pressure when I buy this watch. Oh, it's pressure when I buy these cars in this house. Because now I got to keep winning. And if I didn't believe in myself, I wouldn't do it. That's why some of these boxers are scared to spend their money. It ain't because they conservative. They'll just lease the car and rent the house. They don't believe in themselves. And he said, he was like, Ryan Garcia, now you have to start him. People think that you are what you say you are.
But you a pussy.
You've called out these guys. Now you have to fight them. And if Tank knocks your ass out, where do you go from that? Yeah. Fight Devin Haney, okay.
Because his last fight, he almost got
right.
knocked down.
Right, and that was the best fighter he had been in there with.
Right.
That was the first former champion that he fought. And he wasn't fighting him for his belt. He didn't have a belt no more. Former. So now let's say Tank knock your ass out. Okay, well, Tank moves on. Nigga, you don't have the weight to get an immediate rematch.
Yep.
So now you got to go back to the drawing board. Okay, I'm still a star, nigga. I'm still a star. But, bitches still like me. I'm still that dude. I'm still fancy, and I'm still the first Mexican fighter that looks like a Floyd type fighter in the ring with my style, and he's offensive, but he's not a slugger. He's a slick boxer. That nigga will counter and pull and slip. He got defense, nigga, and he's actually quick. Okay. He's proven he got power. He done knocked some niggas down before. Okay, so now you go to Devin Haney. And let's say Devin Haney, what he's done in the amateurs, he beats you. He's more now, even if y'all was close in amateurs and when y'all first started as pro, because of the caliber of fighters him and Tank has been fighting and the magnitude of fights they've been fighting in.
Haney's fight was last weekend?
Yeah.
Against JoJo Diaz?
Yeah. Washed him.
And JoJo Diaz
is a 3-time champion. Lost his
JoJo
belt, nigga,
Diaz
because
of
a night out with some females party.
Right.
So now,
I mean, obviously ain't no bitch back. I don't remember a lot of people's names, but I know who fucking JoJo Diaz is.
Now think about it. Now that you have this experience there. Mm-hmm. So now Devin Haney and Tank, just off experience, are better than you.
They need to fight each other. That'd be a great fight.
That's going to happen. You know what's going to happen? Right? No. See, what Mayweather did, that's people got to pay more attention to and give him credit. There's a Devin Haney Promotions now, and there's a Gervonta Tank Davis Promotions now. I don't want your money, young blood. I'm going to show you how to get it.
I'm going to show you how to get it.
I'm going to make money off you while I'm showing you how to get it. Mm-hmm. Now go fly. Devin Haney supposedly has, nigga, the top new American prospect signed. He's a 14-year-old kid, nigga, out of like Philly. Damn. Supposed to be the truth.
That one dude, Lil B Hop, that nigga's nice.
Yeah.
From New York.
Yeah.
That boy's nice.
Yeah.
Watching him come from that Netflix show and actually is still doing his thing.
Yeah.
That boy's nice. I like watching Lil B Hop. No, he's actually nice.
He can go, man.
For sure.
He can go. It's going to be some the boxing's in a good place. And the thing is, the money's always been there, and now Floyd has taught these kids the blueprint, him and Al Heyman and Leonard Ellerbe, nigga, on how to get the money. Like Devin said, like, boy, I'm making $7 million a fight. Like, what are you talking about? Like, why do I need to fight Ryan? It was a time because of his Twitter followers. Devin Haney and them was like looking at him like, oh, I need to make that fight. Because I want to go ahead and watch him, nigga. I'll get all his fame. I'll be a star, nigga. That's going to help me. It'll propel me into getting other fights. Now that's not necessarily the case. Tank got select nigga. That whole NBA was in rap, nigga, was at his fucking fight. Yep. Lil Durk walked him out. Like, nigga, it don't get no bigger than that in today's hip hop and time. So, why does he need Ryan Garcia again? Just like Cambosa's like, nigga, he's like, nigga, I don't want your belts. You can keep those. And it's because he got respect for Haney, too. It's like, nigga, you're not going to duck my homeboy. They've always pit young black fighters against each other early, and it's not fair. It's like, oh, you want Charlo and Andrade to fight each other, but y'all don't want Canelo to fight nobody that nigga that gives him a chance, nigga that got a chance with him. Like, nigga, if he wants to be undisputed at the division that he's been in his whole career, why would he give it up, nigga, when he has all the belts except for one, just because he don't want to fight Andrade? And then when Andrade comes to his fucking press conference, calls him a bitch, tells him he's running, Tell him, nigga, you fighting bums, nigga. Do you want the belt or not, nigga? I'll whoop your ass. He says, no, leave here, nigga. Make security kick him out and says that he just wants a payday. This is my problem with the double standard. This is why I'm glad that Floyd Mayweather called that shit out, because he brung that very thing up, and he was just like, yo, what did Canelo do and deserve nigga a fight with me? What if I was like that with everybody?
Yeah, he didn't deserve nothing.
What if I told everybody I was young and kind of wanted to fight, nigga, like, nah, man, you ain't done nothing to fight me. Because nobody would have done enough to fight you if you set that standard. That's stupid. Dog, that's stupid.
I never liked Canelo, though.
That's like Usain Bolt saying, like, oh, you the fastest, you want to race me? No, nigga, no, we can't race until you win a couple more Olympics, nigga, world champion. Like, no, nigga, race me.
Yeah.
Like, nigga, Michael Jordan didn't get to look at Kobe and be like, oh, he can't guard me.
Well,
don't let him guard me because he don't got enough championships.
Boxing is like one of the only sports where you get to pick and choose your opponent. You don't have to play everybody.
But that's a myth because there are mandatories. What happened is boxing has always been racist, and they pick the opponents favorably to what they think they want the outcome to be. So right now, like, they'll try to do some slick shit, nigga, and make like
okay. So no, we're both saying the same thing. I mean, as far as like, because I mean, the NBA and the NFL is randomly generated seasons.
Because very few fighters get to pick their schedules.
Right. No, but I mean, somebody's picking the fight. They're hand picking fights to put together. There's a difference. The NBA and NFL and baseball, it's all random generated seasons and shit.
If you say so. I don't believe that. They say it is, though. You're right. I know. I'm not disagreeing with you. I wasn't saying that to you.
Yeah, no.
I was saying that more so to them. Like, nigga, you're not going to tell me that it is a coincidence that LeBron got a new team coming off, nigga, him and A&D injuries. And, nigga, they got like 14 out of the first 20-something games, nigga, at home.
Yeah, that's weird.
Just throwing it out there. That's Bron.
Yeah,
that's King James. And what he does for the numbers, nigga, when he's on the court, nigga, it gives him that clout. I'm not knocking it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You'd be a fool not to. That's why I was with Nick Wright when they was like, bro, you don't suspend him for the Knicks.
Well, no, because college gets to pick their
You don't suspend him for the Knicks games.
There's colleges that pick
their
preseason.
Seasons.
Yeah, they pick their
preseason.
preseason.
They're non-conference games, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right.
But
you're
boxing is the only sport where you get to somebody's picking your fights.
Bob Arum said, when you go find a black kid, as I studied all around the world, from the poorest places to anywhere in the world where black people live, he said, you go up to a black kid, a young man, he said, you put up your hand and you say, whip me a jab.
He could whip you a jab.
He said, they're going to snap their fists. They're going to snap their punches. He said, you're going to hear the snap. It's like, boom, they're just going to whip out a jab. He said, no matter how young, no matter what background, he said, everywhere in the world he's went in his 40, 50-something years doing fights, he's done that. And he said, it's not the same for white fighters.
You got to teach them that.
I don't know that to be true, to be honest. I grew up with I guess I must have grew up with some of the most talented, athletic white boys ever. Because I knew white boys was catching shit off the rim in high school and shit like that. Like, I don't know that to be true. I can't just say that's true. But this is what he said. This is a white man that's Jewish. This is what he said. He's one of the most famous, iconic boxing promoters ever, right? So he developed a rule that when you're trying to build a non-black boxing star, the rule is called NBF. No black fighters. When the leaked emails and all that shit came out with Gruden, I believe that's when those same emails came out. People ain't talking about it as much because boxing's a racist sport, and the media lives in that little gray area where it's like they won't really expose it because it's not really nothing to expose. We know this,
right?
But it's just on writing now, and he's had to publicly defend it, and was like, "Yo, it's not racial; it's just a fact." And he just retold the story, like, "Look, man, this is just a fact. Everywhere I've been in the world, this is what I've seen. So if I'm trying to build a Manny Pacquiao, no, you can't get the Berto fight, even though Berto was his mandatory." Because Berto can probably beat you. No, we don't want you to fight Floyd right now. Let's build this thing up because Floyd's going to beat you. Bob Arum knows that. Bob Arum had Floyd's uncles and dad. He's seen Floyd grow up in the gym. He knew Floyd like nigga. Bob Arum just recently came out and admitted because he's getting old, and when people get old and senile, they start just telling the truth about shit. He said, "Yeah, I could have been made the Terrence Crawford fight, and truthfully, if I'm being honest, Terrence deserved it. Terrence kept re-signing at low rates with Bob Arum and Top Rank for the promise that he was going to get the Pacquiao fight. This is before Pacquiao Mayweather. This is when Pacquiao was a star. Terrence knew that's the one nigga. I'm gonna get him up out of here and become a star, and then I'm gonna try to make a quick run at Mayweather, because if he'd have got that Pacquiao fight before Mayweather knocked out Pacquiao, nigga, Floyd probably would have fought him. Like, oh nigga, you the little young lion. Let me knock your ass. Let me get you something real quick. Right? That would have been that changes the whole trajectory of his career and the way he's looked at and all that. He's already a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, because look at what it did for Canelo ass.
Bob Arum in a loss, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bob Arum, and that's what he's looking at. Nigga, I could have been Canelo.
Yep.
And so Bob Arum, knowing all this, he purposely held this young black kid back. The same way that Terrence Crawford was warned by Mayweather camp, like, bro, don't sign with him. But people believe some of the things that they heard about Mayweather at first, that he's selfish and whatever. But now they seeing what he's did for Tank and Haney, and they like, damn. They looking at even some of these Latin fighters he got. They looking at that and they're like, damn, his fighters are paid, and they're getting fights, and they're getting developed, and they're not getting thrown to the wolves. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lesson in that, bro. Because he came out his mouth and said, like, yeah, I could have made this fight 100 times. And they was like, well, why didn't you? And he was just like, well, because Pacquiao signed with Bob Arum too. And he was just like, I wanted to protect Manny. Like, come on, bro. Which one is it? Floyd Mayweather is a chicken, or Manny Pacquiao deserves protection in a combat sport?
Manny Pacquiao deserves protection in a combat sport.
You get what I'm saying? Like, nigga, what is that called, Jay? Moving the motherfucking goalpost, bro. Like, why do they do that? Why do they do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even necessary, fam. But they do it, though. Every time. They do it. But, you know, it is what it is, man. Got bigger fish to fry. That's pretty much all I had on the list, though, fam. I know we got a lot of shit going on. I'm going to give you the floor, man, if there's anything you want to get off your chest. All right. Well, then, shit. Welcome back.
Hey,
a lot
actually,
of big things coming.
I
figured. I knew you had to get some shit off, bro.
Everybody out there, update some drivers. Now it's trying to every time a driver is a little bit outdated, it's gonna pop the fuck up. Anyway, everybody out there, we coming up on Christmas, all that good shit. I've learned this in the last week. Take the time, smell the fucking roses. Because these motherfuckers ain't gonna be around all the time to smell. And I'm learning that shit because I feel like in life, I don't feel like I have enough memories with my dad. And I feel like I lost a lot of time with my dad because, like, it's a lot of time he didn't live around us.
All right.
Make sure y'all motherfuckers spend time with y'all fucking peoples.
Yeah, bros.
Especially over these last 2 fucking years. The last 2 years.
We've been going through it. We've been losing people.
2020 wasn't that bad for me.
We've been losing people,
But 2021. And pay attention to your karma, because I don't know what the fuck I did in my life to make my life, the universe, be fucking with me so goddamn much. But it's something. Something I did in a previous life. Something I did somewhere in this motherfucking universe. I don't know why they fucking... I feel like I'm being tortured.
Hey, man, I'll respond to that briefly. You're entitled to feel that way. But just observing your situation, knowing the energy you put forth, I think that sometimes there's wrinkles, and out of those wrinkles, man, come beautiful streams. Sounds corny, um, but it's just a weird thing. Pops is still with us, so I'm gonna hold it like that. I'm not gonna, but with my pops, it's crazy how they be with you, and I'll leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy how sometimes you feel like you didn't have enough time, but all those memories come back stronger when they're like when they transition in certain ways. So, we'll talk about that at another date if we need to. You feel me? Shout out to Pops. Fuck cancer. It's another episode of the Always Talking Shit Show. It's your boy Akeem Sincere.
And we out this motherfucker. Fuck how you feel and fuck cancer.
New Always Talking Shit Show.